Hey everyone, it's John Trent, editor-in-chief here at Bounding Into Comics. Welcome to Bounding Live. I am joined by my co-hosts Donald Edmonds and Drew Taylor. We're hoping that Spencer Bakuli and Script Doctor will be able to join us later. I know Script Doctor was over on the Midnight's Edge After Dark stream, and I think they were still going, so he might be joining us after that one wraps up. But how are you guys doing tonight? I see the chat is already busy. We have a bunch of folks in the chat. Mark Lasurth, Warren Smith, Mark 63366. Am I missing anyone?
Hey guys,
that is super busy already. Yeah, I think that's everyone right now. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Wunderbar. Lots of fun stuff to get excited about.
That's a great word.
I'm not 100%, but I'm here, doing my thing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see you guys. We saw you guys yesterday. I don't think we got to see you yesterday, Drew. I did see Don. You joined us yesterday, but we didn't get to see you.
Yeah, I was I was kind of like messed up, man. I was flying a little high on hydrocodone at that particular moment.
Oh, I can imagine. I know I'm keeping you in my prayers. I hope everything goes well, and hope we get some good news from the MRI, and they take good care of you.
Yeah. For those chat, if you don't know, I'm kind of the past like 3 weeks I've been dealing with some serious issues. I've got issues in my cervical spine. I have some vertebrae close to fusing, and I have a pretty severe bulging disc. So I've been in a lot of pain, and my right arm kind of hasn't even been usable. So for somebody that's a writer, it's pretty hard. But I've managed to get a couple stories out the past couple weeks, so I'm happy about that. But we're doing the best we can, and these guys are amazing. I've got the most amazing boss and coworkers in the world. So
Warren is saying he's suffering too right now. I'll definitely add you to my prayer list as well, Warren.
Yeah,
that your leukemia treatment goes well.
Yeah, God bless you, Warren. My mom has leukemia, and I'm her caregiver. I've been taking care of her for a number of years, so I understand just what you're going through. So
let's kind of start with how we've been starting the shows recently, where we kind of talk about what we've been enjoying over the past week, whether it's a video game, a book, comic book, whatever we're kind of been really kind of exploring and enjoying and having fun with. So we'll start with Don. How far have you? So for those who don't know, Don's been reading Dune. But he's been taking his time reading it. So how far have you gotten with Dune, Don?
Dude, by the time the movie comes out, I don't think I'll be done with this book. But yeah, I have barely moved an inch. I read a page, and then I got caught up with a bunch of videos that I still need to make. So again, look for some videos coming out on Bounding Into Comics YouTube page at some point. Where we're gonna go into Silk, Cindy Moon, and and there's the Canadian.
Yeah.
Welcome, Spencer and Script Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
What's up, Spencer? My Asian brother.
Have you been checking anything else out, Don, besides Dune? Is there any like TV shows or anything that you've been watching or binging or anything?
But we talked about that yesterday.
Oh, okay. Aside from so for those who don't know, we're doing a Trek Tuesdays. We do Trek Tuesdays now. We start around 3:00 Eastern time, and we're kind of going through Star Trek Deep Space Nine right now. So that's what Don is referring to there with Star Trek. So yeah, we're all a lot of us are watching that. I know Drew is as well. I think we'll be rewatching that too. But that's it.
Yeah, that's all I got time for now.
Staying busy, working hard.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Drew, what have you been taking in?
Let's see. Most of the time, since obviously, I don't spend too much time out here sitting in the chair. I'm usually like laying in bed. So like pretty much what I've been doing is I reread the Revan novel that I had in my Star Wars Revan novel, and then I also
That's a good novel.
yeah, it actually is a good book. It's one of my favorite books. But besides that, I've kind of been, obviously I have my phone next to me, so usually when I'm laying there, I read Twitter, and that usually triggers me when I see everything that's going on. But besides that, when I can kind of manage to sit out here, there was like a couple of video games that I've been playing that are just like kind of like virtual novel type video games, and those have been fun. Those like kind of pass the time when I can actually sit here for like an hour or so. But yeah, it's kind of hard to game and stuff. So most of the time I've just been reading a lot, whether it be stuff from my phone or just reading books.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get that fixed soon in the future here, and you'll be back to being able to game as much as you used to.
I know, man. I miss it. I really miss it. I like chomping at the bit to get back and start gaming.
All right, Spencer, what have you been watching aside from Tower of God on Crunchyroll?
Yeah, I was just about to say, just finished the last episode of Tower of God, or the last episode of the season. Really good series. I recommend everybody give it a watch. One of the best looking series I've seen in a long time. And I'm a weak person. I went back to Final Fantasy VII Remake, still trying to go through hard mode and get that platinum trophy. So if you haven't played that game, obviously it gets a hard recommendation from me.
Are you gonna be like that guy from what was it, Game Rant or whatever that editor?
No, I'm not gonna be that bad. I promise.
Oh gosh, he was whining about how hard it was.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That was still one of the funniest things I've seen. I'm like,
when complaining about the first boss fight when Cloud literally tells you how to fight it.
yeah.
So there was two guys. There's one guy who was complaining about the first boss fight, which was in like the free demo, and like they were saying the controls were too complicated, and was having issues like beating that first boss because they didn't understand that you needed to like switch to a lightning attack.
That was Kotaku.
Yeah, I think that was
that was
lightning attack.
Good old Kotaku.
But then there was another guy at Polygon who was saying that this one fight was just way too hard, so they had to like put it to easy mode.
Oh, that's
because it was
right.
just insanely difficult or something like that, because it was like an Aerith and a Tifa fight. I'll be honest, I haven't had any issues. Like I've been on a hiatus with the game, but I didn't have any difficulty issues at all. I feel like
I didn't
challenging, but it's not like I haven't died.
No, like Warren Smith. Yes, that's exactly what they are. Game urinalists.
Yeah, but they don't have Ruby weapon. They don't have the Emerald weapon out yet. They don't have any.
I know, that's the stuff I'm really excited for, and I'll see it in another 20 years.
Insta kills.
Yeah,
Yes, the insta kills, just one beam across the battlefield.
Let's see. When you guys read our website, you can count on like at least me and Spencer, are like actual like gamers. So when we write gaming articles, we can actually speak from some sort of place of experience. I mean, those guys are just terrible.
Oh, and Jorge too, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I play too. I think Dom plays a little bit.
Yeah, John, but
Animal Crossing.
I mean,
y'all just rag on me because I don't play PC anymore.
You play like some of the most obscure games I've ever heard of.
That just means they're better games.
I play wildly popular
I've heard of them,
Japanese
too.
SRPG games. They're just extremely popular in Japan. I think Fire Emblem Three Houses was one of the more popular games on Nintendo Switch too. So I don't know if that's like really that obscure.
Yeah, it is.
But
yeah, strategy.
Yeah, I love my strategy.
Oh God, Mark!
RPGs.
Yes, Mark 63366. Yes,
Hey, Mark.
the urinalists had so much problems with Dune. Oh, that was great.
So, is there anything you're looking forward to seeing? I saw Crunchyroll release their summer lineup. I wrote up the article, but I didn't get to watch the trailer for that one. What is it called? I don't remember what it was called. They got some new show where it's like some people from the Edo time period are going to be coming to the future, and there's like zombies taking over and stuff like that.
I didn't get to take a good look at the lineup. I actually saw your article came up, and I have it open in another tab, but I haven't looked at it yet. But I definitely want to check out what Crunchyroll is going to be bringing to us this next season. And I don't know if I would say I'm excited for it, but I've been just spending a lot of my time looking at the new Avengers stuff for the PS4 game. And it looks awesome,
a new trailer.
and I just can't get over it. So I guess I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I'm kind of over that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I'm not looking forward to it in a good way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I feel like it's going to be like The Last of Us part 2 all over again.
It's going to be so bad.
The Last Jedi?
Especially after all those trailers from today.
Yeah.
Don't get a DMC.
Yeah, you need to. So we need to get together on. I think it's called God of High School, and maybe we'll do this other one, and we might do some reviews on that. Along with our anime rewind.
Our Gundam reviews, which have been a lot of fun. I hope everybody's been checking those out.
Maybe follow an actual show that's happening at the time.
That's happening now. Yeah.
The old show. I see we've got some other folks in the chat are joining in and telling us what they're interested in. I see Marvelous Earth Dark Season 3 starts soon. I caught up with Dark. I highly recommend that. It's so good. I can't wait for that. That is an epic show.
I've heard nothing but good things about that show.
It's so good. It's a German show. It's light on dialogue, but the character development is fantastic. The storytelling is really good. The time travel aspect seems really solid. I mean, the mystery is really good. There's like the thrills are really good. I really love it. You have to watch it with the subtitles. I think, and it makes you focus more with the subtitles. Because you can't be like on your phone or get distracted with something else if you have the dub. But yeah, I highly recommend Dark. Warren Smith also recommends that. I saw OC Steve had something. I saw My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. That's a fighting game. I've never really gotten into the fighting games, but I am looking. I saw that they were going to port. They're going to port what is it, the anime mashup game to Switch, so I'm thinking about getting that. Jump Force. So they're porting that to Switch, so I might look at getting that. And then I see Warren is also saying lots of Cyberpunk 2077. It's coming out later this year as well. He's excited for that. So I think let's move to Script Doctor. What have you been enjoying this past week?
Oh, I've
been reading Dark Knight Legends.
Yeah, I've been continuing along with the Legends of the Dark Knight. I'm on Denny O'Neil's Venom miniseries, that 5-parter, and I'm digging it. I mean, it's great to see Batman being written well in comic form again, not that terrible Tom King crap.
Yeah, we'll get into that probably a little bit later. Tom King making the news.
Yeah, of course he would double down and do something dumber than he already does before.
Yeah. Anything else that you've been watching or reading?
No, actually, I've been so swamped with a bunch of screenwriting projects that I've been mulling my way through that I haven't had a whole lot of time, aside from watching like Battlestar Galactica for the Pegasus Actual on Thursdays. I'm only able to squeeze out like about a half hour a day to read a comic book that I have.
which by the way, SD, I got some news for you, buddy. I reached out to Cameron Pasha, and he's going to come on with us one of these times for Pegasus Actual.
Oh, cool!
That's cool.
Yeah, so you'll have somebody to talk shop with.
Great, 2 screenwriters on the screen.
yeah.
Screenwriter show is that was in direct competition with what he was doing at the time. But yeah, no, that'll be a blast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on Thursdays at 10?
9 p.m. Yeah.
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. But tomorrow it's going to be 8, right? Because we're doing a
we're going to start at 8
header.
tomorrow. We're doing a double episode show. So anybody that likes Battlestar, if you want to catch that, we're going to be reviewing 2 episodes. Season 2, episode 8 is season 2, episode 9.
Yep, definitely check that out. As for me, I'm kind of in the same boat as Spencer. I went back and got into Pokemon Sword. I was playing through the Isle of Armor stuff. I think I beat all that, and I was basically maxing out my Pokedex. I think I'm only missing the Pokemon from Shield, so I've pretty much completed that game. I'm still I like the Wild Zone mechanics of it, but I still feel like the difficulty level on it is super subpar. If you're any Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue fans will remember when you got to the Elite Four, you basically had to fight them all the way through with the items that you had and the Pokemon that you had. In this game, as soon as you beat, it's a tournament style, and as soon as you beat one of the people in the tournament, your Pokemon full heal, and then you keep going instead of suffering from the conditions that they have and having that item management. And I just feel it was just it's a little bit too easy. I felt on the Switch, a little bit up the difficulty a little bit, and I also feel there wasn't any really mystery or exploration like those original games had. There wasn't you didn't have to move the rocks or solve any kind of puzzles to get to items or Pokemon to catch, which is a little disappointing. And even Isle of Armor doesn't really have that either.
Super streamlined, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's super streamlined. Just way too easy. I felt and it's kind of disappointing, but it's still it has that fun catch 'em all experience and get the new Pokemon and train them up and stuff like that. So the core game is there. It's just lacking the more interesting dynamic mechanics of the older games. And then I think that's pretty much it. That's kind of what I've been spending my free time doing when I have any free time, is catching up with that. So let's get into the headline of the show. Hollywood is canceling itself. And we kind of saw this a little bit already. I posted the story I used it in the related. If you read these stories, they're related. But so we kind of saw this happening with Scarlett Johansson. When was this? Last year, I feel like.
A year and a half ago with the transgender role for the Mob movie, right?
Yeah, Rub and Tug or something like that.
Yes, I think it was Rub and Tug. Yeah.
Yeah, Rub and Tug. So July 2018 is when she was lampooned on Twitter because she was going to play this role of a woman who dressed like a man in the 20s as a mobster, and a lot of people were saying that the character was transgender, even though this character never really, the actual person never referred to them as that way. They just dressed like a man and they were a mobster. But so they blasted her for that. She then she was producing the film and was going to act in it, and then she dropped out of it a week later. And this kind of the reason that she was getting blasted was that she wasn't a transgender person, and only transgender people should be playing that role. And we're coming that is coming back to fruition here. The most recent headlines we're seeing: Kristen Bell will no longer voice the mixed race Molly Tillerman on Apple TV's Central Park, and then Jenny Slate quit Netflix's Big Mouth. That's also a mixed race character with that. So let's get into this Jenny Slate one first, because this one happened first.
I think she also has a TV show that was just picked up as well. Which is probably why she had no problem quitting.
Okay. See if this works. There we go. Voila! It did work.
I look better than
All
her.
right, so Jenny Slate, who voices Missy in Netflix's Big Mouth series, announced she's quitting the role because the character is biracial. She made the announcement in a lengthy Instagram post, and we'll just jive down here to the Instagram post. Let's read it here. I have come to the decision today that I can no longer play the character of Missy on the animated TV show Big Mouth. The start of the show, I reasoned with myself that it was permissible for me to play Missy because her mom is Jewish and white, as am I. But Missy is also black, and black characters on an animated show should be played by black people.
Gosh.
I acknowledge how my original reasoning was flawed,
Dumbest thing.
that it existed as an example of white privilege and unjust allowances made within a system of societal white supremacy, and that in me playing Missy, I was engaging in an act of erasure of black people. Ending my portrayal of Missy is one step in a lifelong process of uncovering the racism in my actions. So let's unpack this part. Let's just unpack
good
this.
lord.
Hurry up!
She's calling herself a racist.
Weren't we talking about this yesterday?
Yeah. It's like, hurry up, we're going to miss the woke 400-meter hurdles.
No, Cisco.
Yeah.
We were talking about Cisco.
Avery Brooks.
I cannot play a color.
Singer?
Yeah.
He doesn't wake up and says, "What is something that I'm going to do that's particularly black today?" Like, he doesn't think that. Nobody does. I don't wake up and think, "Listen, I'm the whitest man on YouTube. What can I do that's just going to make sure I'm still the whitest man on YouTube?"
Hey, that's mighty white of you.
That is pretty white.
Yeah, but I don't think that when I get up.
I just think
I'm like,
it's just
I gotta
bizarre.
get up.
It's so bizarre. She's literally accusing herself of being a racist. So,
I'm
is she even
wondering.
getting any work in Hollywood at all anymore?
I'm wondering
She
at this
has a
point.
show
so
with
weird about these
Netflix, a
statements.
comedy called Stage Fright.
I'm wondering at this point, John, if this is just all like attention grab from these people because like they want to stay relevant or something. Because it's just
Make sure their
Or
houses
it's getting
don't
out
get
ahead of
something.
something.
it's like my God, to watch like the past few weeks, and of course, like I've had all the time in the world to sit there and like watch the idiocy of Twitter and these celebs, and it's just like.
Oh no!
It's just like, man, they're coming out. It's a contest to see, who can virtue signal the best. I mean, and they're just like trying to outdo one another. It's like, my God,
Chris Neville says Keith David isn't a gargoyle. He can't be a black boy.
Oh man! Oh, Chris Neville, that's comment of the night.
OC Steve kind of is saying what script is alluding to here. Leaving a show and wanting to virtue signal to get attention for my next project, good or bad. Can you give some more information about her this other Netflix show that she's doing?
It's a comedy on Netflix
She's
called
a comedy.
Stage Fright. And it was greenlit in September, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it dropped or not. I haven't seen it on any of my queues, and I usually try to keep up to date with those things.
So it's something that she already did, or is it something that has yet to go into production? It's an actual like sitcom?
I think it's like a sitcom or a special, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on, I'm just gonna do a quick poll on it here.
Big Mouth show was just renewed. I was reading Variety for another 3 seasons, so it'll have, I think, 6 seasons total. And that was, I think, in January. It got renewed, or maybe November or something like that. So the fact, I would think that, I don't watch this show, but I would assume her character is a main character, and they were expecting her to stay on at least at that point in time for the next 3 seasons. So. Do you think that she was actually quitting the show before, and then she just wanted to call herself a racist and virtue signal about how America is a society of white supremacy?
I think what she's doing is she's getting ahead of the cancel culture by stepping away from a role that will eventually have the SJWs eat her alive. And I think she's just trying to, like, sort of like how you insult yourself so that the bullies can't insult you type of tactic.
Yeah, I don't think that works though. They come
It
for
doesn't.
you.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work in social media. It can work in like the schoolyard, but it can't work in social media.
Yeah,
because this is basically a confession. And
it's just so pathetic. I mean, I don't understand why these people don't get. It's just like, don't engage with the mob, period, or don't even apologize to the mob. Why can't these people just sit there and say, you don't like what I did, fuck off.
Dude, they're gonna pull you down faster than a statue, though, if they smell blood in the water.
Faster than a statue. Oh gosh.
No,
they pull down them statues pretty fast. They pull them down pretty fast.
Well, no, they pull down statues and they end up crushing themselves.
But I think that so this is just ridiculous too. So she calls herself a racist, and then just before that, she says that she lives in a society of white supremacy. So to me, it's like what society is that? The society that she lives in? Because that's not the society that I live in. So
she's Jewish, so that's kind of excludes her a little
type
bit
of society.
Yeah.
Well, no, she also probably lives in a more dense Hollywood bubble than other people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is this Hollywood society.
I don't know.
And these people preach from the society that they live in.
Probably 70% of Hollywood that lives in that bubble.
Yeah, it's West Hollywood, so it's probably like right next to a rabbinical temple.
Yeah, I mean, if you lumped all of Hollywood, together, man, 70% of all of them easily live in that bubble.
I don't know about 70. I'd say 30, but they're very powerful and influential 30.
Yes.
like the 70% are pretending because they don't want to lose their job.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Like, you got to remember, man, like the metrics there in Hollywood are not as advertised because, again, it's all about, what the image is. So if they make Hollywood look like it's a super woke place, it's mostly image and not actually legit. And when it is legit, it's from the people in power because – you want to keep your job, so you have to toe the line if you want to get paid. That's why
I think you're right on the money there, because we'll get to this a little bit later. But I mean, maybe we'll just talk about it now, since you kind of brought it up. But I mean, J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Company literally released a 20-page guideline on how to root out, quote, white supremacy in the workplace. So I think you might be right, Script Doctor, but to me, that releasing that is to try and get rid of these political enemies to replace them with their own. I mean, that's how I'm seeing this.
I'm seeing it as like almost a resignation letter for J.J. Abrams from his company.
Well, yeah, that too. But
because it's like, dude, the people he's accusing, he falls in a lot of those categories. It's just, it's mind-boggling because, again, the artistic world is supposed to be like a meritocracy in a sense. Like, there's a reason it's called starving artists, because the only ones that make money are the best ones. So the majority don't, and there's a reason for that. But here they're like, nope, we're gonna get rid of all people of this demographic, and compel others who may have a slight inkling, but not necessarily a passion, to come work in these like dream type jobs. And then see all the horrible stuff that goes on behind the scenes, where the movie magic gets all the secrets are revealed, and you realize, yeah, it's a lot more hard work, it's a lot more frustration. There's a lot more ego than most people are used to experiencing, and unless you absolutely love it and are need to be involved in it, you're just going to wash out. And that's just the nature of the game, and they're pretty much setting themselves up to fail by doing tactics like this.
So, Price of Reason, welcome. Thanks for joining us, Price of Reason. Always good to see you. He says there's another option. Netflix wanted Jenny Slate replaced, but gave her a way to gracefully bow out in a way that makes it seem like she cares about diversity.
Could be.
Why would they want her out?
Oh, I think they probably, because they don't want to get Netflix doesn't want to get attacked by the woke mob that they're kind of part of.
Oh, got it.
Stoke up all the
Yeah,
time.
because
That's what I
Netflix
would
is still.
I thought I missed something. Yeah.
Yeah, because Netflix is still kind of like it's part of Hollywood, but also outside of Hollywood. Again, like the Motion Picture Academy doesn't really like the idea of Netflix having films that can be nominated for Oscars, but they tolerate
I was
it.
going to say Steve Roma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No,
they
you're
also
right.
got what's his name too. They got the Scorsese did his long 3
The
hour.
Irishman. Yep.
Yeah.
And the reason Netflix did is because no studio wanted to spend the money and have a film that long to produce. So Netflix took the opportunity, and there's a little tug of war between Hollywood, traditional Hollywood, and Netflix, because Netflix has instant access to their audience, and on top of that, they have a massive library and they license a lot of movies, and they generate some income for Hollywood, but mostly they make all the money pretty much for themselves. And even though they're investing so much of it, they're constantly in the red because they can't make as much back as what they produce. And they know they're doing this, but it's to their own advantage because they're expecting the Hollywood system to have to conform to what they're doing, as opposed to Netflix having to cave and just be kind of like a digital rental service.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right on the money with that. So let's continue reading what she has to say here. What Jenny Slate has to say. As I look back on the nature and emergence of my own voice in comedy, I know that I have made mistakes along the way. Oh, okay. So that's interesting too. Maybe she thinks she might be getting Kevin Harted with maybe what she said in a comedy stand-up or something. I can't change the past, but I can take accountability for my choices. I will continue to engage in meaningful anti-racist action, to be thoughtful about the messages in my work, to be curious and open to feedback, and to do my best to take responsibility for the ways that I am a part of the problem. Most importantly, though, to anyone that I've hurt, I am so very sorry. Black voices must be heard. Black lives matter.
She's gonna be one of those that goes and runs and washes the nearest black person's feet. Oh man,
God, I can't get over that video.
I know, dude. I hate this, and I mean, I'm not gonna get into politics on here, but man, because I have streams I talk about that stuff though, and I've said like plenty of times, this is all manufactured BS, and it's like it's just funny watching the useful idiots do their thing, because that's exactly what these people are, useful idiots. They're not doing anything to groundbreaking at all, because this is all a manufactured BS in the first place.
Well, Hollywood is very rarely ever groundbreaking at anything. So
No. These people are like so they're so hollow, man. These people.
All right. So after her little statement, we got a statement from the creative team of Nick Kroll, Andrew Goldberg, Mark Levin, and Jennifer Flackett, creators of Netflix's Big Mouth. And this was posted to Kroll's Twitter. And they stated, after thoughtful discussion with us and our Black collaborators, Jenny Slate has decided, and we wholeheartedly agree, that Missy on Big Mouth should be voiced by a Black actor. We sincerely apologize for and regret our original decision to cast a white actor to voice a biracial character.
Oh gosh.
Well, at least they got it half
But
right.
she's biracial. That's the point. Why can't a white person voice the other? Like, I don't get it.
So what are they going to do? Hire Halle Berry? They can't afford her for that.
I think So they're pigeonholing themselves is that they need to hire a biracial actress to voice a biracial character, right? They can't just hire a black.
But it's going to be the right mix, or else it's going to be offensive biracial. So you can't have a Japanese white person.
Right.
I know, right?
Well, Shamik Moore is not a black Costa Rican, I guess, which was Miles Morales' race. But because he's
Puerto
black.
Rican.
What?
You said Costa Rican, didn't you?
Costa Rican? Yeah.
No, Puerto Rican.
Puerto
Rican,
Rican.
yeah.
What are those
Jorge's
Ricans?
gonna get
One
you.
of the Ricans.
Jorge's gonna get you.
Jorge's not here. That's
Give
fine.
me a Rican.
But yeah, so that's fine if Shamik Moore wants to do that because he's got the BL in there. He's got the B in there of the BLM.
Oh, are you thinking of Shamar more?
Shamar or Shamik?
Yeah, which one?
Dude, I'm probably screwing up everything tonight. So that's fine.
Shamar Moore. Thinking of the guy that used to be in Criminal Minds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Shamar Moore.
So it continues. We sincerely apologize for and regret our original decision to cast a white actor to voice a biracial character. We made a mistake, took our privilege for granted, and we're working hard to do better moving forward. We are proud of the representation that Missy has offered cerebral, sensitive women of color. That's so strange.
That's also offensive, but yeah.
Yeah. And we plan to continue that representation and further grow Missy's character as we recast a new black actor to play her. We thank Jenny for her decision and for creating with us an inspiring, compassionate, and very human character. We look forward to being able to explore Missy's story with even greater authenticity in the years to come.
Oh my God, Mark Lurseth, I hope you're wrong about that. I hope they are not coming after Cass Anvar.
Why would they be going after Cass Anvar?
Because the representation thing. Because he doesn't fit the character for the pilot.
Oh, from The Expanse?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you? You're talking about The Expanse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Martian pilot, right? Is that who he plays?
Yeah, the guy.
Because he's not really Martian.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I haven't read the book, so I don't know what he is. He's a Martian, right?
Oh no, I guess they're trying to Me Too the guy is what DeviantOrg is typing in there.
Oh, okay. So they're.
Is this supposed to cross over with like the Warren Ellis accusations?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll have to look into that a little bit later. Mark will have to tell us in the chat here. All right. So it's not just Jenny Slate. We also have Kristen Bell as well. This is a little bit of a different story. She's not actually canceling. She's still canceling herself, but they're keeping her on the show.
She's just going to do another voice, I guess.
No.
That's what they said, So, but this is what's really interesting.
She already
is that
spent that paycheck. Can't get rid of her now.
What's that?
I said she probably already spent that paycheck. Can't get rid of her now.
So she's been with the show. They say that she's been with the show since like the very beginning. So, but yeah. So Kristen Bell will no longer voice the character of Molly Tillerman, a mixed race character with a black father and a white mother, on Apple TV's upcoming. I think it's actually there's already 5 episodes of it. Central Park series. Bell's exit comes after creator Lauren Bouchard defended Bell's casting back in January at the Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour. So not 5 months later, and she's out. So as reported by Variety, Bouchard stated, Kristen needed to be Molly. We couldn't not make her Molly. He then added, but then we couldn't make Molly white, and we couldn't make Kristen mixed race, so we just had to go forward. And then we arrived there and said, well, we got to just keep doing the best we can to balance, turn around, and give somebody the opportunity who wasn't getting it. A commitment to diversity isn't some odd job. It's a commitment to making stuff better. He then explained that the casting was seemingly primarily done by Josh Gad, who starred with Kristen Stewart in Frozen. So Bouchard says, we cast first. In this case, it was building a bunch of characters around Josh Gad. We just said, who are your friends? Who do you want to work with? Who's going to come to work? Who's going to make themselves available? And then he lists them out, and he had this incredibly exciting list of people, and it was very obvious. Leslie Odom Jr. had to be the dad. Catherine Hahn had to be the mom. Kristen had to be a daughter. Titus Burgess had to be a son. Those characters were sort of obvious, and then we just had this problem. But then he continued to defend casting Belle, saying it's not ideal, but Belle is the ideal actress for that part. We have a responsibility to do two things. One, it's good to have not just a bunch of dudes making stuff. It makes the show better if you don't have a bunch of dudes. Diversity makes stuff better. You'll be exposed to a new idea. You'll avoid a trap. You'll avoid a cliche if you have a bunch of different voices in the room, whether that's the writer's room, whether that's artists, whether that's production, whether that's in the cast. Secondarily, you don't want to get to the end of the road in old age, look back and say, we could have done better. So it looks like they were trying to say, like, because she was a woman, it was okay, even though she wasn't a mixed race woman, seemingly in January, I guess, and they just were trying to defend that decision.
As the woke criteria keeps changing, they can't stick with one thing. You know, it was okay because she's a woman, but now it's not okay because she's not a woman of color, and next it'll be it's not okay they're not a black or indigenous person of color. And it's just going to keep going on and on and on and on and on.
Oh yeah,
I'm tired of it.
Dude. The woke Olympics never end.
The last thing we need, Drew, is to fall over.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't say of color anymore, apparently.
No, man.
Well, it is actually like Hollywood's way of trying to be polite, but actually kind of being very rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So, go on, Drew.
No, it just ticks me off, this whole thing. I'm like so over this in general.
I know I'm with you, but I mean this is happening and it's going to continue happening, and I've been saying this for the past year that it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were saying that things might be getting better in Hollywood. I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to get a lot worse.
It's going to get
before it gets better anytime
There
soon.
was a moment. There was a moment.
We were right on the edge of getting to better, and then the lockdown happened.
Yup.
Oh no!
Yep.
then the George Floyd crap happened, and then it just
Yep.
got worse.
It just piled on, and now you're looking at an industry where the powerhouses are like, okay, so we're not going to be making money for the next couple of years because there's a mob out there.
Yeah.
And then you have the smaller films like studios like Blumhouse are like, oh, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing because we only spend like a couple $1 million on a movie and make 10, 20 times their money back. So we're just going to do that and slowly take over. And yeah, then you've got the upcoming election cycle, which is going to really throw a monkey wrench into things.
That's gonna drive it too. It's just, my God,
We were so close, and then China attacked.
Yeah, basically, you're not wrong about that.
No, I'm being hyperbolic, but yeah, exactly.
Not wrong. Yeah,
We were close, and then all of a sudden this stuff hit us, and
that's where a lot of this garbage is financed from. And again, sorry for getting political, but I mean, I'm just being real. Facts are facts.
Don's got some hot takes in the chat. We need Ryan Reynolds will not be reprising his role as Pikachu. Obviously, he can't reprise his role as Pikachu because of the way that the movie ends. But if they do need someone to voice Pikachu, Detective Pikachu again, it will not be Ryan Reynolds. It will be a real lightning rat.
oh, he can't be Deadpool either. He doesn't have cancer.
Right. Deviant Porg is like they're going to come for Goku next because Goku is voiced by a woman. He says in France, the original Japanese voice actress is also a woman, Deviant Porg.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere, but
Yeah.
here.
I think, Don pointed that out as well. Don also says Bart is voiced by a white woman, not a yellow child.
Henry Cavill can't be Superman anymore. He's British.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
American.
I mean, I've been harping on that for a little bit, man. All these British actors keep getting our.
Oh
American
yeah,
Superman.
let's do it.
What's going on
Get all
here?
these British guys out of there.
I saw OC Steve says that gender swapping in cartoons will be next. No doubt, no doubt. I think that will be coming sooner rather than later.
That's coming. That's coming.
So let's read this statement here from Lauren Bouchard, Josh Gad, Norm Smith, Halstead Sullivan, and Sanjay Shah. I believe those are the folks behind the Central Park show. So it begins. Kristen Bell is an extraordinarily talented actress who joined the cast of Central Park for merely the first day of the show's development, before there was even a character for her to play, and she has since delivered a funny, heartfelt, and beautiful performance. But after reflection, Kristen, along with the entire creative team, recognizes that the casting of the character of Molly is an opportunity to get representation right, to cast a black or mixed race actress and give Molly a voice that resonates with all of the nuance and experiences of the character as we've drawn her.
Bullshit.
So if they like, so this is the point right here. This is what we're getting at.
Crap.
An opportunity to get representation right. So they need to find someone. They need to literally create Molly and bring her to life in order to actually voice her. Right. That's the only way they can get representation right.
No, that's all corporate speech for like.
Hey, Kristen, they got pitchforks and flaming torches.
They're tearing down statues.
What do we do? What do we do? We need out.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But Stuart will Bell will remain part of the show. Kristen will continue to be a part of the heart of the show in a new role, but we will find a new actress to lend her voice to Molly. And then we profoundly regret that we might have contributed to anyone's feeling of exclusion or erasure. Black people and people of color have worked and will continue to work on Central Park, but we can do better. We're committed to creating opportunities for people of color and Black people in all roles, on all our projects, behind the mic, in the writer's room, in production, and in post-production. Animation will be stronger for having as many voices, experiences, and perspectives as we can possibly bring into the industry. I disagree with this. I think this is they keep preaching this. I think this doesn't make any sense at all. If you have two, it's the same. They're basically giving the analogy of that we need as many cooks in the kitchen as possible to create the greatest dish ever. The whole purpose of that metaphor is that you have too many cooks in the kitchen and you can't actually create anything because they're too busy trying to figure out what they're going to create.
Or they're arguing over what they're going to serve. Because or what ingredients you need to put in it, or how much brown sugar I need to put in it. Does it need to be a cup, a half cup, a quarter cup, an eighth of a teaspoon? Yeah, because in a good kitchen you have a head chef and then you have a couple of cooks that organize that menu for that day. That's how it's done. They work as a team. Usually it's a handful. You don't want to get into the high double-digit numbers, because then that's where you start to have a problem. And on top of that, too, they talk about inclusivity and diversity and getting people of color, and I'm air quoting that, working on their cartoons. Well, they farm out the labor of the animation stuff to the Asian countries. So there's tons of different diversity over there, like either South Korea and Japan.
Yeah,
and Castlevania
is a perfect example. Castlevania is the perfect example. They wrote it all here and then was animated in Japan, if I believe.
Yep. Like they'll draw the models in the United States, and then they'll farm the actual animation work and storyboards out overseas. And that's like the bare minimum that they're able to do for, that representation. That they don't animate cartoons on this side of the Pacific anymore. Like it's sad.
Not even these ugly ones.
Not even these ugly ones. I know.
Most of those ugly ones are done in Canada.
Some of them are.
This reminds me of what's that show?
Bob's Burgers.
It's on Fox.
That is Bob's Burgers.
I know it's done. I know it's Bob's Burgers, but it's the other one, King of the Hill. I think a little bit. It's kind of what it reminds me of.
Or F is for Family.
Yeah. I just don't find that aesthetic pleasing at all. All right, so animation will be stronger for having as many voices, experiences, and perspectives as we can possibly bring into the industry. Our shop and our show will be better for respecting the nuances and complexity around the issue of representation and trying to get it right. So I found this funny here. So if you don't know anything about this Central Park show, it also has Stanley Tucci and Daveed Diggs as part of the cast. And guess what? They voice women.
Cancel.
So it's unclear. It's unclear if they will recast Stanley Tucci and Daveed Diggs. But we'll be waiting for that announcement.
Wasn't
soon.
Tucci in that weird stupid video?
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
Oh God, not
that. I didn't really watch that because it just was so cringe. I couldn't. I think I got to Piper Prabo and I was like, yeah, this is just pure political garbage.
well, hey Spencer,
what's up?
I got to look like Paget Brewster, I think.
You know that now speaking of Keith David, Spencer, we got to go back and retroactively cancel Halo because Keith David can't play an Arbiter.
Yeah, he can't play a white. Dude, we got to go back in time and cancel Samurai Jack and the X-Men and Metal Gear Solid, everything.
I demand that the Arbiter is played by a real Sangel.
By a real alien. Right now. And it's
Star
not
Trek.
Oh my God.
All right, so
We're going to cancel Worf. Make that a
Oh,
hashtag.
Michael Dorn, yeah. The poor
Yeah.
guy.
Kind of a black man playing a Klingon.
I mean, Patrick Stewart should definitely be canceled. He's not French.
No, he is not. And Jonathan Frakes isn't from Alaska.
But Will Wheaton is a whiny little annoying turd.
Yeah. No, he was pretty much playing himself.
He stays, unfortunately.
The Adventures of Will Wheaton.
Deviant Porg does say that Karen Gillan gets a pass because she is a Karen. It's a joke. Can't cancel
Illegal Karen.
That poor woman keeps complaining about living that life single. I'm like, you could end that tomorrow.
Dude, 5 minutes from now.
Right here. Right here.
I thought you have a girlfriend, don't you?
That's all right. She can go away, Karen Gillan.
I think she'd understand.
Oh, we know how loyal Don can be.
Wait a second, Don. Is she going to give you the smash pass, dude? You get the smash pass for Karen Gillan?
She won't know if I don't tell her.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I think someone's getting canceled for that right now. I think an Assassin's Creed guy's getting canceled for that right now. Jorge's working on a story on that. We'll have that up tomorrow. All right, so we mentioned this earlier. J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Company took to Twitter, shared an employee guide for dismantling white supremacy at work. So here's their tweet. It literally
everybody
looks
was asking for.
it looks like a commie symbol to me.
It really does.
It really does, dude.
Wow.
My
I hadn't
hand.
seen it.
Just
Yeah.
missing a sickle.
It looks like a commie.
Looks like a sickle.
Can anyone
So-
Photoshop a sickle in that and put it on Twitter?
Oh, that's great.
I'll
And then-
Photoshop
and then
something else.
So if you remember, I think Spencer, you did this story maybe earlier this month or at the end of May, but Sega had to pull down their Sonic the Hedgehog. It was featuring, what was it, Tails. It was a sweatshirt, and it had the rising sun in the background. Does this not look like the rising sun to you? So maybe this should be canceled too.
Yeah, it really does.
So.
Somebody wrote in the chat, Parrot Head said Mark Zuckerberg should play Data.
See, what's interesting here is that they have this dismantling white supremacy at work, but they literally put it in black and white. Like, they don't understand the nuances of what they're talking about.
No,
There's also the red.
What is this thing?
That's supposed to be a robot hand.
Oh, okay. All right, I guess I see that.
It's
now.
like a claw.
All right. I thought it was just some kind of like futuristic wrench or something.
It's a horrible design.
It
Sorry.
really is.
It's a futuristic hammer. That's what it is. OCC, I think we might. That actually sounds interesting. He says, "Anyone see EVS take on John Boyega on Twitter?" We'll have to pull that up next because I want to see, because I know Boyega's been getting into it with the quartering and I'll be interested to see what that is.
No, Boyega actually stood with the quartering after he cleared it up, and the fandom came in to clear it up with him.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people just started jumping on Boyega. I was like, "You can't stand with the quartering. Quartering's an asshole." He's a racist.
So I do think this is a good question. Sorry, I just want to jump back to Abrams here.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to get into that a little later, though. So Mark63366 points out a great question. So Jar Jar JJ hired a lot of white supremacists into his company. Why? Yeah, right. Why would you need a guy to get rid of white supremacists from your company if you didn't hire a bunch of them, right? So I think that's all. That is an interesting question there. So let's kind of get into this a little bit. So the title page here says, "At Bad Robot, we are committed as storytellers and executives to dismantling white supremacy at work and at large. With its ever-evolving and far from complete guide, we hope to share some resources to explore and navigate this time for ourselves and with each other as we strive to do the delicate, raw, humbling, and enraging work of anti-racism in community, the Good Robot Team." So the first 10 pages are basically a list of resources that you can like re-educate yourself on. It says comprehensive list of anti-racist resources that includes people to follow, films to watch, books to read, and other sources of information. And then they kind of have these like sections on like the re-education information. If you have 5 to 10 minutes, you have 30 minutes, and then you have 16 minutes plus. You like that ad? Pretty good ad. Got an ad there, boys. That's a good ad. Ring that bell.
Oh, yeah.
A little louder.
What a deal.
So, so what's interesting is they include among the individuals they include. One of them is Ava Duvernay, who, I think we
not
posted
pictured.
this last. Not pictured. If you read the this article here, she actually threatened to discriminate against white men when hiring for films after a number of, I think they were film editors, responded to this post for someone was looking for specifically black film editors, and people were like, "That's illegal. You're discriminating." And then Ava DuVernay basically said she was going to discriminate as well, and threatened and discriminate against white people, white men specifically. So she was discriminating based on race and gender. So another person on the list was Marvel Comics writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. If you've read any of our stuff about him, you know that he has written things like "White America is a syndicate arrayed to protect its exclusive power to dominate and control our bodies." That's just utterly absurd. He's also described
you can just say things.
What's that?
I said it turns out you can just say things in any order and put it out there on the internet, apparently, because that makes little to no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely absurd. And this is one of the people that J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot are recommending that you follow. He also described first responders to the terrorist attacks on 9/11, saying they were not human to me, black, white, or whatever. They were menaces of nature. They were the fire, the comet, the storm, which could, with no justification, shatter my body. Yes, the people trying to save people from the terrorist attack were trying to shatter his body. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
What the?
Other people on the list include LeBron James, Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is one of the actors who has this like inclusivity clause in his contract. So for every film he does, he has like a quota, I believe is how it like reads to me. I think
he's got the free rider thing.
Okay, yeah, but it's like a quota, right?
Free rider basically means they have to have 50% men and women and equal representation on the crew and cast and everything.
Okay, right.
It's a really ignorant type of compulsion.
It's hilarious that LeBron's on there. You know, I mean, I can talk about that because, you know, living here close to Cleveland, I mean, we saw that up close forever. Like, God, LeBron is such an SJW. Like, he's like all over that stuff.
All right, Don, we're gonna actually have to put you in timeout for that's a 5-minute major timeout. Cheating on people, we do not do that here. 5-minute major timeout for you. So other people include Colin Kaepernick, NFL quarterback,
Of course.
who led the way with the kneeling protests in the NFL.
Oh, and hey, Jamel Hill. Oh, wow.
Yep. Former ESPN reporter Jamel Hill.
Former for a reason, as we found out.
Yeah, exactly.
Rapper Common, pop star Janelle Monáe, director Jordan Peele, singer John Legend, actress Issa Rae, and there's a bunch of others. They have a bunch of like academics too. I obviously didn't list all of them. You can, if you want to. The PDF is in the tweet link, so you can look at that. They also encourage people to follow. I think an ad just happened. Here we go. To follow a number of radical political organizations, including Black Lives Matter. So if you don't know, Black Lives Matter, they led this chant in 2016 in Minnesota where seemingly calling for violence against police. The chant was pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. You can watch the video. I'm not going to play it right now. They also want to like in 2016, they called for dismantling the police. It's not just defunding it. And then a Black Lives Matter co-founder, her name is Patrice Coolers. So you can watch this. She actually says that their organization is trained Marxists. So I mean, they're very upfront about what they're doing, and this is an organization that Abrams and Bad Robot are supporting. And then they also support Movement for Black Lives, which also advocates for defunding the police. We help us build a nationwide campaign to defund the police. It's right there on their Twitter. And other organizations include Southern Poverty Law Center, RACES, NAACP Legal Fund, and the Equal Justice Initiative, among others. And then they have a list of books. Some of them are White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. It's written by a white person. If I understand.
Freaking book.
And then you have White Rage, the Unspoken Truth of Our Racial Divide by Carol Anderson. And then here's one, The Next American Revolution, Sustainable Activism for the 21st Century. And then there's a bunch of others.
Whoa, activism is not supposed to be sustainable. It's supposed to just be for a cause, and then once the cause is resolved, it's done. Move on to the next.
Yeah, that's the entire point.
Sustainable activism means your cause will never be resolved.
Well, yeah, it's exactly.
So how true is your activism?
Well, that's exactly what this is. Make no mistake about it. This entire thing is an attack on Western culture. They want to erase Western culture. They want to erase everything about the West and basically turn it into a Marxist utopia, which is never going to happen. Because
for one, Karl Marx was racist.
Well, no, it's never going to happen because, look, there's enough people that that live in the West, and not just the United States. There's plenty of patriotic people that enjoy their country the way it is, and they're not going to let these idiots come in and continue to purvey this garbage because people are going to take matters into their own hands and start taking them out. There's no other way to There's no other way to get around that. I mean, that's just it's ridiculous. It's turning into radical alt-leftism, as OC Steve is alluding to, and it's scary times because it's getting to a tipping point pretty soon.
Yeah, imagine these doctors and these authors of these wonderful books having to give up their yachts because they've created the Marxist society that they
where that yacht has to be part of everybody's property.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like nobody ever read a White Fragility book if the mob was coming to the docks where the yacht is parked.
I know, right?
So they also have a section that's targeted towards their employees' kids. It's titled "If You Have Little Ones in Your Life." They also in the section aimed towards their managers. They instruct them to acknowledge, quote, the result of hundreds of years of systemic racism and state-sanctioned violence against Black people. They proclaim the uprisings. The uprisings, like they're literally calling these protests. They aren't calling them protests. They're calling them uprisings. This is J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot calling it the uprisings.
Well, wouldn't that be the riots then?
Well,
Yes,
the whole
uprisings.
system,
Calling it an uprising.
So he's
insurrection.
trying to rebrand and remake the riots into his own Bad Robot form again, like he does with everything else.
right?
It's not the riots, it's J.J. Abrams' reimagining of
Let's
the
flare it
uprising.
up.
Not your grandfather's riots, it's the uprising. That's what it is.
The whole systemic racism thing is a joke. Again, it's a construct and a myth, and
No, Morgan Freeman talked about it in 2014 on Don Lemon's show, and he's like, it doesn't exist. We're examples. He literally says that.
Yeah, if it existed, they wouldn't be in the positions they had.
exactly. It's crazy, and it can. This thing can only go so long when it's built on lies. You see people. There's a lot of informed people out there. I mean, you see videos. I mean, sure, she's a little over the top, but you see Candace Owens talk about it, and she's exposed it. There's plenty of people of color that have come on and done videos and exposed it. And it's the same thing with the white privilege. It's the same thing with male.
We'll get to white privilege. They have a definition of that. We get to that. They have a little glossary that defines all their little terms.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. It's gonna be great.
So here, the screenshot, you can read it, but he says the uprisings that have been happening and will continue to occur in responses to these systemic injustices are part of long lineages of resistance. So what did we say earlier here? The sustainable activism, it's actually more of a sustainable resistance against whatever they believe is oppressing them.
Well, if you take a look at the police numbers, I think when you tally it out based on how many interactions the cops have versus how many of those interactions result in a death of a civilian or suspect, the numbers are minuscule, if I'm not mistaken. I might have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're terribly small, because if they were any larger, all of us would have no problem saying, yeah, the police are fucked up. Sorry for language.
Oh yeah, I mean, the police union came out in New York, and he talked about how many encounters that they have and how many they have, and it's an insane number. And then the amount of instances that are actually end up being violent is extremely low, and that's in New York City, one of the most populous cities in the world.
Yeah, and I remember visiting there after 9/11 happened, and you saw a cop on every corner. But what was the weirdest part is they were the most friendly people everywhere, even to like the people that were like giving them sass. They're like, "Yep, okay, no problem," but like, and they're just kind of waving them around. I never saw any. I was there for a couple of months, and it was weird to see a cop in every corner, but they were the most polite and respectful. This was right before, I guess, stop and frisk happened.
Right, I remember. I think it was when Rudy Giuliani was the mayor. He was praised for increasing the police force and bringing back like law and order to the city,
keeping that city together. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. So it also instructs managers to say the names of individuals that they are mourning, learn and say the names and pronouns of those that were mourning. Pronouns.
What the hell does their pronouns have to do with it?
He, Mahmoud Aubrey.
Hey.
Yeah, so Breonna Taylor, Nina Pop, Drayshawn Reed, George Floyd, Tony McDade, David McAtee. Remember that these are just the ones who we know. These are just the ones we've heard about in the last.
We left off David Dorn.
Yeah,
they
cop that was shot.
They left a lot of people out. There was the guy who was I think he was a Homeland Security officer in
that was
California.
Patrick.
Right.
Can't think of his last name. Yeah.
So, and then you have this give time off, no questions asked. While some people may turn to work as a coping mechanism, most people would probably benefit from more space. That's why you might consider making time off the norm, something that your Black staff members don't need to opt into or request as an accommodation.
So they just don't show up and get paid?
And get paid.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Man. I wish I could fit into that realm and then work for Bad Robot and just never have to
Can't-
show up.
Yeah.
Don't even have to request off.
I'm gonna
don't
get
take sick leave. Don't take vacation.
Drew, get in
Just
on
don't
this.
show up.
Dude, I could. If I go out in the sun for a few days, man, I'm golden. I could just
It
go.
doesn't even matter. Like, you're non-white, so you already qualify.
I'll be
Pull my
like,
But we're
Asian card.
Asian, so they already don't like us. We don't count.
yeah, they don't like.
There was an article that I saw today, or I saw a screenshot of it. I'm not sure if the article is true, but they were saying that Japanese people are white now.
Oh, I
Um,
saw
Never
that
mind.
on Twitter.
yeah,
Because they didn't like that video game.
yeah, something just
Because that's how it works.
Yeah. So then you have this section here on review your organizational calendar. They're literally telling their employees to take political action as part of a business, as part of their business. Repurpose existing forums for discussion, reflection, or action. Perhaps your next virtual happy hour could be a phone bank to defund the police. J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot are advocating to defund the police. This is a Hollywood production company advocating to defund the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Maybe the
one way
police should
possible,
not.
too.
Maybe you can talk to me a little bit more about this, Script Doctor. But I know just from kind of my experiences is you would contract with the police to provide security for some of this stuff. I mean, maybe do Hollywood production companies have their own private security? So
They
don't
have
need the police to
some,
do
but
that?
when you're shooting on location in a city, you have to hire local police when they're off duty and pay them their normal hourly rate. So
maybe the
Yeah.
police shouldn't show up, and then when they're trying to film Star Wars or whatever the
If they're gonna
Justice
try and
League
film a
Dark
DC
in
movie in New
Washington
York.
DC,
yeah,
if they're going to film Justice League Dark in Washington D.C., maybe the mob just goes after them.
yeah.
And the
Maybe the
police
police
don't show
just don't have anyone that's off that day to provide security, and that production has to rely on their internal security guys, which are not usually that well equipped. I mean, some of them are maybe like 1 year, 1 year cop experience, and then they were quit because they couldn't take the pressure, so they took a more comfy job, or they got injured early in their career, and they decided not to take the desk job as an officer and work private security, because it's okay if you have a limp. If you're a private security officer, you're shooting anyone that approaches you anyways. So yeah, like there's lots of issues that are going to bite them in the butt real hard, and not in a fun way if they try to get what they want with defunding the police movement.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that Warner Brothers needs to be worried about because they just
AT&T should be flipping their crap
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, AT&T, Warner Media, they should be extremely worried about this. Especially, what is it? Half a billion dollars they signed for
$500 million
Robot?
contract for productions of some of their IPs. I know.
Yeah. Ezra Miller can take out fans in a flash. That's a good one.
You want to fight, and then just a choke slam.
He can act as security, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I would watch that movie, that documentary.
So then it continues here. Or an upcoming community panel can focus on connecting your organization's key issues to the movement for Black Lives, which their main issue is defunding the police. At the very least, remove the optional just for fun events. No one wants to play trivia right now, Andy.
I know Andy. His trivia
I
is
don't
awesome.
know. I like trivia. Trivia's fun.
His trivia is awesome.
How
I actually
about
don't know
we
which Andy
have
this
some
is.
moments
I do
where
know
we
an
can get
Andy
away
that does
from all of
awesome
this?
trivia, though. At a bar in downtown Los Angeles.
No fun, Spencer. No fun. No one wants to have fun. Except that's
When?
exactly what the rioters are doing when they're pulling the statues down. They look like they're having a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
Except the guy that got his skull.
Yes,
Not
he was
the guy
having
in a
fun
coma.
until he was having fun until he got
Yeah.
whacked. All right. So the next they say expand beyond DEI workshops. Guess who's probably been to an implicit bias for diversity, equity, and inclusion training? Amy Cooper, Derek Chauvin, Tao. We know that diversity training alone doesn't usually work to change behavior. Racism in America is older than America itself.
Oh my God.
And
No.
a day-long seminar won't stop the weaponization of white womanhood.
Huh?
White womanhood. They're going after white women here.
Okay.
The complicity
Okay,
of
I'm fine with
Asian Americans.
What?
The complicity of Asian Americans
See?
in anti-blackness.
Yeah, right.
We literally are just props to them until, like, they love us when they can use us to point to discrimination.
Right.
Oh, look at how you're treating these poor Asian people. But then we're the first to be thrown under the bus for not being POC enough.
But like, you're where the money is, so how do they reconcile that?
For real.
Ryan Miller art. I am complicit only because, like, dude, I have no filter on Twitter. I say speak my mind.
Well, for starters, the people who even developed the diversity, equity, and inclusion training have gone on record saying it's stupid, it doesn't work. We did it just to get the
money,
the paper published, so that they could go and get research funding for other stuff. Like, it's proven false because, first of all, human beings have a bias. It's not necessarily a prejudicial bias for hate. It's just basically either a little bit of apprehension or fear, or a lack of developing curiosity within one's person, because you're looking at a phone all the time, so you don't care about what's around you. It's completely non-violent and non-offensive or hurtful. Like, it has to be sort of nurtured in a negative fashion for it to really be something to be considered a problem. And thankfully, as far as I can tell, it's not a massive issue. Yeah, exactly, right.
I'm racist because I played Xbox.
Gamers.
And not PS4. That's why.
Right.
So racism is. I guess they're trying to say in the colonies is what they're referencing here. Racism in America is older than America itself. A day-long seminar won't stop the weaponization of white womanhood. What does weaponization of white womanhood?
It's
what
the one where they want to talk to your manager.
Are they talking about JJ's wife and how she weaponizes things for her own personal gain?
Yeah, she's white, right?
Yeah, she's a trophy wife technically.
And then we talked about the complicity of Asian Americans in anti-blackness, or the disregard of black humanity. Training is one stop on the journey, but we need to do more. Find ways to create and foster habits of anti-racism.
Well, it's a good thing you can take a day off without having to report it.
Well, I know, man.
So when they have this seminar that day, you can just stay home.
So then they have an anti-racist vocabulary section. What is white supremacy? The idea that white people and the ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and actions of white people are superior to people of color and their ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. While most people associate white supremacy with extremist groups like
them,
KKK,
those people.
and those people, white supremacy is ever present in our institutional and cultural assumptions that assign value, morality, goodness, and humanity to the white group, while casting people and communities of color as worthless, immoral, bad, and inhuman, and undeserving.
Wow.
They're just changing the damn definition.
Wow. Oh my God, man. This is just...
White supremacy is ever present in our institutional and cultural assumptions that assign value, morality, goodness, and humanity to the white group, while casting people and communities of color as worthless, immoral, bad, and inhuman, and undeserving. Who
did that?
What are the institutional and cultural assumptions that do that?
I don't know what the hell this is.
Is it J.J. Abrams' bad reboot that minimized John Boyega's fin on the poster in China?
And reduced his role in The Rise of Skywalker to almost nothing. And
yeah, or made him a janitor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a sanitation worker in the. That's actually akin to what I guess the South did during the Civil War, right? They didn't let those people fight the front lines, as far as I know, like not by volunteer. They were either compelled or laborers, right? So
I don't know, man. I got the sudden urge to like go and watch some of the old like 70s blaxploitation flicks now. The good old.
Oh yeah, I got Petey Wheatstraw on
Yeah.
DVD. I love that movie.
He's the best.
It's strong. The devil's.
Dolomite. My name is Dolomite.
I'm Dolomite. Mm-hmm.
Dude, those are some of the best movies.
Oh yeah.
John Willis has a new name for this employee guide. He's calling it "It's Bad Reboot: The Manifesto."
It is really.
It really is.
It's terrible, man. What the hell?
Here's the thing. It's written by some dude that lives in the Hollywood Hills, not somebody that's on the ground level who doesn't see any of this going on.
That's what everybody got mad at us for the other week when we talked about J.J. Abrams wanting to end white comfort. And everybody thought we were talking about we want white people to be the best, but we were just criticizing the fact that he's not going to do anything.
No.
Like I said,
Whatever
give up
white
your
comfort
yacht.
is. What is white comfort? I don't. It's J.J. Abrams
I
living in
didn't
his
get that
mansion
either.
and wherever he lives.
Yep. He's just gonna like sit there and chill in his probably $7 million mansion.
Dude,
It's-
my
it's
white
him-
comfort is never mind.
It's him leveraging his association with Disney to get his son to write a Spider-Man comic.
And it's bad.
All right. So what is white privilege? White privilege refers to the unquestioned and unearned set of advantages, entitlements, benefits, and choices bestowed on people solely because they are white. Generally, white people who experience such privilege do so without being conscious of it.
See, that right there is the catch-22. You can't deny it because you're not aware of it.
Unearned set of advantages, entitlements, benefits, and choices bestowed on people solely because they are white. I guess all the coal miners in West Virginia didn't earn their living there, huh?
Nope. Complete supremacy.
All the steel workers in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh didn't earn their living there. Just absolutely just stupid. And this is what we're going to get. We're going to get more of this. I expect this will be repeated. I think we'll see this. I don't know if they'll share it, but I bet you there's stuff just like this at Sony, at Columbia. Guarantee it's at CBS. Most definitely at Disney. And then I get it's probably, what's the other one? Universal as well. I mean, have you seen anything like this stuff scripted anywhere else?
I've seen them in other companies, but not in the entertainment industry.
Okay. I bet you they're coming. They're probably writing them right now.
I would not be surprised, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
See, and that's why like all this shit is so funny. It's because, half of these people don't believe it, and the other half are like just Looney Tunes that do believe it. So at this point, I say, everybody that can actually think clearly and have common sense, please just open season troll these idiots because they deserve it.
So Ryan Miller has a new definition for what white comfort is. Is Southern Comfort Baileys and ginger ale. New mixed drink.
Right now, oh man, I would after a couple of those, I wouldn't be in pain.
Oh, Ethan was having fun with this guy that was trying to troll us here too earlier today.
Yeah, that guy.
I just pulled up Ethan's stream. So this random person, like the Duke, which is not the Duke. It's definitely not John Wayne.
Not even close.
This is like the opposite of John Wayne. And he says you can really tell where a news site falls when you Google the following things, which he didn't Google. He searched the website with those keywords. Yeah, he came to the site and searched Ethan Van Sciver and Brie Larson. He didn't Google them. And said that was complaining over the censorship tab, and Ethan was like, "I'm an absolute hero and a demon in the mind flesh. God has blessed me with abundance." I was having fun with this guy too. They were just making these absurd comments. They were trying to say that we denied something, and I was like, we didn't deny anything. It was.
Oh, that was the weirdest thing. They were saying that we lied about what's his name, Brian Drummond, but we didn't, and he
they were saying we hid the lead. They were like, this is why I don't trust Bounty into Comics.
Yeah.
We hid the lead, and then they posted a screen cap of like his tweet and our headline, and like the headline matched what he said.
It was exactly that. Yeah.
The dude actually posted in the comments in reply that, hey, it's a well-written article. And then I complimented and he said he like forgave.
Different person, I think. Right?
No, it was the guy.
Oh, this person, the Duke?
No, different guy. But the Brian Drummond article. And then the guy was like,
Mr. Sarcasm,
Mr. Sarcasm. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. You're taking the high road. That's very admirable of you.
Yeah. But yeah, Ethan's getting in on this guy, too. So I'm trying to find his... how far do I have to go to find the Boyega stuff? OC
that's
Steve?
like almost a week ago, right?
It's not.
week
It's
ago?
not recent. OCC was saying it was like recent. I thought.
Are you talking about Boyega in the quartering?
Yeah.
No.
Boyega and the quartering.
That was
No,
about.
that was but OC Steve was saying that Ethan was getting into it with Boyega.
It was during that time because
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
thought it was
quartering
like
took a while to
2 days ago is what OC Steve is saying. Tell me how to scroll. I gotta scroll a lot now. All right, well, we can talk about this real quick because Ethan brought it up too. I gotta scroll back up now. I'm sure you guys can all hear my wheel, my mouse wheel. Where is it? I'll just pull this up real quick, and then we can like talk about it, and then I'll just keep searching. Here it is. So yeah, this has been going around.
Oh God.
This Men in Comics Say No pledge, and it came after Cameron Stewart, Batgirl writer, was accused of like sexual misconduct, and then Warren Ellis, who is writing Netflix's Castlevania, was also accused of sexual misconduct. And then they you got everyone from like Tom King, Scott Snyder, John Tinian IV, all the DC people, Steve Orlando, all like posted this. And it's just really targeted towards men, which is interesting because there's actually a woman, Hope Nichols, who she says that she doesn't agree that she sexually assaulted this guy, but she does admit she does kind of admit that she forcibly kissed him though. So I don't know. She actually admits to the story, to most of it. She says that it's mostly right. And that was from a couple of years ago. She actually shut down her publishing site because of it. So the pledge says, I pledge to never abuse, harass, groom, or manipulate women and all people of marginalized genders and sexes, to hold myself accountable for my own actions, be open to the comments and concerns of my peers, educate myself to actively intervene when we see or know of abuse, harassment, grooming, or manipulation, to ally for women in all marginalized genders, abuse, harassment, grooming, or manipulation, to actually call out our friends and peers even when no one else is watching, to commit to this pledge for the long haul and keep this conversation alive in the industry. And Ethan's response is it's just get money. So yeah, we can talk about this. I'm going to keep scrolling through to find that. But what do you guys think about this pledge? Literally went viral. Everyone was sharing.
Creepy to me.
Yeah, I mean, my God, it's again. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's right on cue. So we had all those. We've had all the stuff about race. We just got done with the the arguable hoax that COVID is, and then you've got of course right on cue, the Me Too has to come out and say, oh, we're jealous, we need some spotlight now. All of a sudden the comics people are getting accused. You got people in gaming being accused. There were a bunch of streamers, and of course,
There's YouTubers, Angry Joe.
Yeah, Angry Joe, and I will be having a story about that. It should be out at some time tomorrow, but yeah, it's just ridiculous because this week I was just looking at Twitter. It seems like this is the Me Too week to come out with all these allegations, and it's always the same thing because I pointed this out on somebody's post. I think it was one. Somebody had tweeted something talking about Angry Joe, and I said, look, the court of public opinion is not a real court. This is not the place. Any allegations made on social media, 9 times out of 10 is coming from a place of just somebody being petty, and they're ticked off because
and opportunity. Yeah.
They wound up sleeping with somebody that didn't move to their standards. That's exactly.
It's not even that. The Warren Ellis stuff looks like it was just flirting.
Yeah, we're seeing things.
Stuff that I saw. Maybe there was some other stuff, but I only really saw him just like texting.
I don't really like the guy, but I saw the accusations against Robbie Rodriguez earlier, and as far as I could tell, all he did was ask the woman if she wanted to have a threesome. And
they went after Robbie Rodriguez, the guy who was sending his pictures of his butt to.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who sent a bunch of pictures of his butthole. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for him, but I also don't understand the allegations.
Well, yeah, most of these broads, okay, that are coming out with these accusations are just salty because they're trying to say, if you notice. When you look on Twitter and you see one of these chicks post their supposed allegation about somebody, it always says, "I'm speaking my truth. I have to speak my truth now." But when you actually read what happens in the details, more oftentimes than not, it boils down to sex that they lament having. And they always go back. It's funny. These things, there's no statute of limitations. So they pulled something out of 13 years ago because it was, basically a bad lay for them.
Oh, yeah.
But you're also talking about conflating my truth with honesty, man.
Yeah.
People are saying my
There's
truth.
no such
My
thing
truth
as
is
my
nothing.
truth. That's
exactly.
a lie.
You're either honest or you're not. And if you're honest, you're honest. And if you're repeating something that you think is true because you are being honest, but it turns out to be a lie, you're not intentionally lying. You've just been misinformed, but you're being honest. That truth is an objective thing. A third party can look at truth. But personal.
But they don't want a third party to look at the truth.
Yes!
Yeah, this whole I'm going to speak my personal truth. That's your opinion.
That is your opinion. Yeah,
it is your opinion. It's not truth.
Your
You're
delusional
changing the definition of the word.
William Ramskill, it's funny. William Ramskill is on fire with that comment because a lot of these girls, the ones that
here's my statement. Here's my OnlyFans. Yeah,
exactly. The Twitch,
Warren Ellis person.
Yeah, the Twitch girl coming out. For probably a good 5-6 of them all had OnlyFans on their profiles.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's my God. I
think it's all coordinated too. It's just crazy. All of a sudden, the Me Too stuff is just all of a sudden coming back as we're experiencing all these riots and the statues coming down and all this stuff. It's all coming in at the same time. I don't know. It's a little too much of a coincidence for me.
I can see that.
Yeah, Mark Lerseth, we're gonna have to look into that because that's big.
Yeah, I'll have to look into the Cassian Bar stuff. So this is what I found with Ethan and Boyega. OC Steve might have to help me out here. I only see this one tweet. Maybe there's a little bit more.
That's the one.
This is it. Is this it? Was there anything else?
Yeah. So EVS, I didn't agree with his language, but it's what he.
EVS likes to use the very fun words. See if this loads. So here's the tweet he's responding to. I don't know why it's not showing up. It's weird. It's it's deleted, but it's still here. So Boyega was beefing with the quartering, and he was like, "I just clocked. Are you picking on me online, big man? Because you're not the guy for that." I don't know. I mean, the Quartering has almost like 1 million followers on YouTube. I think he can beef with anyone he wants, right?
There's my tweet. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Twitter is weird like this now. It shows people that you follow at the top on the replies now. So you're up there, Don. And so Ethan responded to that in a quote tweet. He said, "What the F is the matter with you, dude? Either dunk on this YouTuber with wit and walk away, or shut the F up. These Disney Star Wars people are effing creeps." And then Boyega just says, "I can't ask the witty guy a question before I make my choice. Shut up, mate."
Boyega's like 5'7". He's not really tall or intimidating. He shouldn't be talking like that.
Is that it though?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
is that all? OCC will have to let us know. Click on Boyega's comment.
Oh no, wait. Brown Boyega thinks he thought that.
Oh, here we go.
Ethan was talking about the Quartering being witty, but he wasn't. He was saying something else.
Bro, the dude is a piece of shit. I agree. He looks like he sleeps with 14 cats.
Oh,
but he was standing up for you. Why is your likeness missing from the Chinese Star Wars poster and nobody else is? And then I guess that was it. So we got Lorena Creel from Toxic Femininity, the popcorn tweet there. Shout out to Toxic Femininity. Some other folks here, and then we get that. Here's the actual poster where you see Boyega's big up here, and he's like, you can barely even see him here. BB-8's bigger than him.
It's bad.
Is that it, OC Steve? Is this it? Is that all he's got?
Probably get a video of it.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's a little Twitter beef going on. There's a little laugh there. It's just funny. Like just beefing to beef. I feel like. Boyega feels. I feel like with what's going on with Boyega, he feels like he's just he's trying to fight he's trying to fight a lot of people right now. He's like really fired up and he's ready to go. That's just what it seems like to me. All right, so let's see. Let's click this tweet again and see if we got any more here. I'm not seeing anything here.
There's Porg.
Where is he at?
Right at the top.
Oh, there he is. I don't want you to write my obituary speech, Mr. EBS.
I love how the fandom just bands together.
Well, in fact, please do it. That sounds cool. I guess I'm not seeing the Boyega response to this. Maybe he quote tweeted him. But that Boyega tweets like a ton, so I don't feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, OC Steve is right. He's swinging at anyone right now. He wants to go. All right, let's kind of move on to something. We're going to take a change of pace here. I know we started off very positive, and then we just kind of were mocking what's happening in the world right now, with Hollywood canceling itself, and then JJ just self-flagellating a rule book.
Oh, I saw that picture.
So what do we want to get into next? Do we want to talk about these like Star Wars rumors? Talk about those, Don, or do you want to talk about Wolverine?
Well, they released that first chapter of the High Republic, right?
I saw Clownfish did a video on like the preview. I haven't looked at that yet. They said it was super cringe, which, I mean,
I can believe it.
Did anyone not expect it to be that way? So I do want to kind of talk about the Doomcock rumor. I know he's got another one he did yesterday, I think, which I haven't looked at yet. I'll probably write that up tomorrow.
Oh, the Veil of the Force one. Yeah.
No, yeah, let's talk about the Veil of the Force one, which he did last week, where he talks about there's this plan happening within Lucasfilm, at least within a faction of Lucasfilm, to save Star Wars, and it all revolves around Star Wars Rebels, and like I think it's the penultimate episode. It might be the actual last episode. I can't remember. It's World of Worlds. They add this time travel aspect to it. So Ezra Bridger is able to manipulate this mural that was outside the Jedi Temple of Lothal. It has these characters from the Clone Wars. There's like the Daughter of Light, the Son of Darkness, and then the Father or whatever. And they remember Anakin went to that planet, and they got a little bit more information on how the Force works. Anakin fights like the Son of Darkness, and like I think he beats him, or like wounds him, but the Son of Darkness killed like the light or whatever. And then so there's this mural of them, and then you have like the Loth Wolves are there. Ezra does something with the Force.
Did Ezra pull down a statue?
No, but he
No.
pulled Ahsoka Tano out from being caved in on from in the past.
So we'll get to that. So he uses the Force on the mural. It's like the painting like realigns itself like Assassin's Creed or something. And then these Loth Wolves like are on like the side of the painting. They like start walking off the painting. They form a circle, and then like Ezra walks through it, and then he starts hearing like Obi-Wan and Yoda and Anakin talking from the past and then in the future. And then he goes to like there's like all these portals, and he goes to the portal where he sees Vader fighting Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, that's that episode.
Yeah. And then Ahsoka like does like a freaking she does like an underworld attack with what's her name, where she shoots the bullets on her, but instead of like underneath herself to escape, she's like using it to like attack Vader, and it actually ends up saving Vader. And then Ezra grabs her, pulls her out.
Turn the coffee pot off when you go to sleep.
Hi, Drew's mom. I'm gonna mute Drew real quick.
Oh, that was awesome.
Always a good time.
Yeah, and then they talk about like what this place is. They don't really give you any details in the episode. Then the Emperor shows up and he like shoots some like blue fire whip at Ezra, and he's like dragging Ezra to him, and he's also like trying to enter into this like portal. Ahsoka like uses her lightsaber, chops the Force whip, and then they run away and escape, and like Ahsoka's like dumped into a different timeline, and then Ezra's like joins the crew of the Ghost and starts fighting. And so the idea is that this, I guess you could access like I don't really understand how it would work as far as like they would make
You can go any point in time that you want to, like Quantum Leap.
Right, but like you still, I mean, so the idea is that they're going to make the Disney sequel trilogy a Legends story and use this
as an alternate universe thing. Like you can go back and erase the past, so to speak.
Oh, so they're gonna endgame it.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that how it, I guess that's how you would have to do it, right? You'd have to do it that way.
It would
but like that doesn't.
I just don't think they do something that important in Rebels. Unless they're setting it up to be used later on in like a bigger movie. So
there's all the rumors that all the Rebel stuff is going to be with like Filoni overseeing all the Mandalorian spin-off
TV show stuff, yeah.
With all the Rebels characters like playing important roles there. That's super rumors. No idea if there's any validity to that stuff aside. Like the Ahsoka one seems like the most. I mean, Rosario pretty much confirmed it by not confirming it. But yeah, I don't know. Like you would have to do that, but that also contradicts what like Ahsoka says. She's like, because they actually Ezra tries to go and save Kanan, but Ahsoka's like, you can't save Kanan. He has to die in order for you to be where you are right now, or whatever. So he couldn't save him, so he had to like leave Kanan. So there's that issue. I don't know. The rumor seems a little far fetched to me. I mean, Kennedy's still there. They announced that What's Her Name project is coming. I don't think that they're like they just had these like 3 big movies. I mean, I don't think they would just decide to be like, oh, we're going to retcon them. It pretty much goes against everything Disney has kind of signaled. I mean, Bob Iger refused to take any kind of blame for The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker. He was just like, oh, the timing of the films was my fault. That's why
oversaturation.
Except we're like going to roll out like 20 Marvel Studios TV shows on our Disney Plus platform, and we do 3 Marvel Studios movies every year, and we have like 3 Pixar films, and they all do like $1 billion. But Star Wars, nah, man, we can't have it like that. So I don't know. From what I've seen with I don't want to discount Jim Cox's sources because I mean his sources were right leading up to the Rise of Skywalker and every like the absolute shit show that was. But yeah, this does seem a little far fetched to me.
Well, I mean, that they would do it, yeah, it seems a little far-fetched. That they can do it, it's there. The function, that the tool is there from a writing standpoint. All you have to do is create a character.
Oh, they don't even care if the tool is there. They'll throw it in. Do you remember Force
Exactly.
Healing?
Like, what they'll do is they'll get Ezra Bridger, and he'll just go back into that thing, and he'll yank Luke out before he decides to walk up to Kylo Ren and kill him in his sleep or some crap like that, and then convince him otherwise. Then Luke returns, and then all of a sudden, that whole trilogy now just becomes like a shadow of what it once was. And then 5 years later, you get a brand new Star Wars Episode 7, something about Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, you have to have.
I love how script is like, this is complete BS kind of treatment.
No, it's entirely possible they could do it. I just don't think it's so likely as of yet. Like, someone probably has written the story that does it. It's just sitting at Lucasfilm on the Lucas side camp, waiting to go. But like, as long as I guess Kathleen Kennedy and anyone who's loyal to her has any say, it's never going to get any further unless someone else gets involved and tips the scales.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't. Yeah, I think on the corporate side, like Kennedy has to leave in order for this plan to go in effect. Doomcock source says that like Kennedy's faction is pushing back. There's a rumor that there's these multiple factions, and I think that rumor is totally believable, especially after what Favreau said in that, I think it's Hollywood Reporter article that dropped a couple days ago. He was basically I thought I painted the picture pretty clear in my write up. Where you had all these Lucasfilm employees like Rian Johnson, even Boyega at one point. I think he's kind of come around. He realizes that fans weren't like hating on him as a person. They were hating on the way his character was treated and his character was handled. But then you had like Chuck Wendig, you had Paul Kemp, I think his name was. I didn't even mention all the stuff with what's her name, the Rose Tico actress, and the media jumping in on that.
Kelly Marie Tran,
Kelly Marie Tran. Disney Star Wars is Dumb has a really good video on that, and that's pretty much just like a media hype on that. But you had all of these people coming. Even Abrams did it as well, coming out attacking the fans. Rian Johnson was calling people man babies. Chuck Wendig was calling Star Wars fans like white supremacists.
He can suck an egg.
Yeah. Yes, he can. His mouth is big enough to fit one in.
Put a dozen in there, really.
Yeah. And then Paul Kemp was like he like dismissed them, and then you have all of these like the novelists and the comic writers are have said all this crazy stuff as well. The list goes on, and then you have Jon Favreau. He's just like, we need to make Star Wars, and we need to listen to fan feedback, and our job as like Star Wars creators is to give fans Star Wars stories.
Well, he likens it to the fact of stand-up comedy where you have to read the room, and if you're not resonating well, you have to change your act, which is exactly what you do, because again, you have to reconcile with having a sustainable business model while also satisfying the customer. Because again, like you have those customers that say, hey, if the movie ticket is like $10, like I'll pay $3. And you're like, no, we need you to pay the $10 in order for us to pay off this movie. It's like, no, I don't think it's worth that. It's $3. It's like, you can't deal with those types of customers, but you can deal with all the other ones that are like willing to say, hey, if this is a good movie, I'll pay $10 a ticket to see it. And if it's not, I'll probably ask for my refund or what have you. And you got to take that information and factor that in for like the next project so you can get yourself better. And that's the whole goal in Hollywood, at least from the creative side, for my perspective and a lot of other writers' perspective, is that whatever we wrote in the past, we have to make sure the next thing we write is better than that based on the information that we learned from that previous story. And that's how you make eventually really, really good films. If the best thing you wrote or did is the first thing you ever done, then it's all downhill after that. In which case you're going to be washed out.
Yeah, I think Favreau is basically the only he seems to be the only one like actually talking any kind of common sense. I mean, what he was saying is kind of what we've all been saying for years now, especially after The Last Jedi, And it's just like we just want Star Wars to be Star Wars. We don't want it to be what is the word that they like to use? Deconstructed.
Yeah.
I don't need my Star Wars deconstructed. I want a Star Wars story. And I don't need to be lied to by Kathleen Kennedy telling me they don't have like lots of Star Wars stories that they can adapt from, and then like literally pull in all these like horrible elements from the legends into like a Frankenstein project. In the Rise
and also
of Skywalker.
Jon Favreau has been through this road before with Iron Man. Like he wanted to do something edgy and different for Iron Man 2, and the studio, which was basically like Disney's influence, said no, just give us Iron Man again. And he's like, we shouldn't do that. We have to push the boundaries. And he got into a fight. He acquiesced. He made Iron Man 2, and then people kind of responded negatively to that. He made a mistake. Calling out one of the critics, but then he reconciled that and did the movie Chef based on that interaction, and kind of rebuilt his career again before he ended up tanking it. He knows how to interact and take criticism. He came from independent films. He came from comedy writing. He knows how to grow. So he's the best type of creative you can have in any franchise, as far as I'm concerned, because he's going to love it passionately, and he's going to take an objective look at it to try and make it the best thing he can. Now, that's a valuable skill to have. You need more people like that within all film departments so that you're getting the best product and you're actually having a real competition, as opposed to one studio like Disney just dominating the year with all their IPs that they're releasing every 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's an issue too. Obviously Netflix, there is some competition, I think, with Netflix. But as far as like the box office, I mean, Warner Brothers has struggled.
They had one good movie that knocked a Disney one off the
Joker. Yeah, they've struggled for the most part. I do think that I like Shazam. Obviously, that Aquaman did a billion, and then I think Shazam was underrated. I think it should have done a little bit better because I really like Shazam a lot. But I think they were on pace, and Wonder Woman did 800 million or something like that.
Yep.
But they're like, obviously they had some issues with Justice League, and they're seemingly looking to rectify that with HBO Max. But yeah, I agree with you, Script. I think that you want that competition. You want these companies to be competing with each other, and I think AT&T is ready to go. I mean, they seem like they're ready to take it on. They're also kind of seemingly adapting Favreau's position on content as well. They're like that's why we're getting the director's cut for Justice League with Zack Snyder. I think they're reading the room. And John Willis is saying here, reading the room, Keaton as Batman again. I think again, if that rumor is true, I think that they're reading the room there too. And then especially if this Batman Beyond that's kind of what people have been calling for years.
Any return of Keaton as Batman will be a front-loaded box office smash. Like that first weekend will be huge for them because you've got like 30 years worth of fans who would love to see that. The ones that were kids, ones that were teenagers, and those that
Plus you get Batman Beyond fans who love the animated show.
Or if you do a Batman Beyond, you get that on top of it. You just stack it over and over and over again. I think AT&T started off strong, but they are kind of learning the so-called rules of Hollywood now that they've been involved because they've done these because of the weird thing they did with why am I forgetting the name of the title? Oh my god, I'm blanking on the title, but it's the movie that they took down. Gone with the Wind. Sorry, yeah, they took down Gone with the Wind, then they put it back up with a disclaimer. That's a bad mistake for them.
That was a huge mistake.
Because this is the first time they're really getting into actual media creation because they're a service provider, and the fact that they acquiesced to that so quickly makes them look pretty weak.
Was there even a petition to try and get it down? I thought they just did it themselves.
They did it themselves at the behest of
they just did it
director from 12 Years a Slave.
Oh,
and
that's right. Yeah, that is right. He wrote that op-ed in the LA Times.
LA Times, yeah. And on top of that, I don't see a disclaimer in front of his movie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He wrote this op-ed attacking them. Like the op-ed was, it's in our article. I'll write up on it. You're right. He wrote that like specifically going after them, and they took it down right after that, just from an op-ed, which is just that's a sign of weakness. But hopefully that they will correct that.
They got to never do that again. And if they're called onto that, they're pretty much doomed, because what will end up happening is their value overall as a company will drop dramatically, and then they'll end up having to sell Warner Brothers to another company again, or Warner Brothers might have to sell off some of their assets that they don't want to in order to stay liquid.
Stockholders don't want that kind of noise. They don't care about the wokeness.
Yeah, they just care about lining their pockets because they're investing in a big
100%.
company.
But Bad Robot.
That happened before AT&T technically purchased Warner Brothers.
I understand that, but he's still in there.
Oh no, like remember that's okay. So Bad Robot is not owned by Warner Brothers; they're just contracted out. Right, so they're technically an independent entity. So yeah, AT&T and Warner Brothers can't really do much with regards to how they practice their private production house. So aside from, I guess, canceling their contract, but I don't know if those types of terms that Bad Robot is employing gives them an out to say, no, you're not getting this $500 million. No, you're no longer working for us because you're being discriminatory towards any group of people, which technically that document is.
Oh, for sure. It's extremely.
But it's discriminatory against the right type of people, so it's okay.
It's discriminatory against white women. It's discriminatory against Asians.
Yeah.
It's discriminatory against white men.
Yeah.
It may also be discriminatory to anyone from Southeast Asia, so like your Indians and Pakistani and
discriminatory to anybody who wants to run a business.
There's that.
I still can't get over the just let them have vacation. I can't get over it.
Yeah, basically we'll hire 50% of our workforce, and 50% of them don't have to show up.
Asians are complicit.
Oh,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I got something to say about that.
I just getting back. I guess I want to circle back again to Star Wars. I feel like we got a little off. We went a little off on a tangent there.
Yeah. Hey. By the way, John, while we've been sitting here, I kind of been poking around Twitter and searching on the Cass Anbar thing, and it looks like there's a fan that's accusing him of, pressuring her to go back to his hotel room or something at a convention when she was 17. Apparently, this was something like 7 years ago that the incident happened.
Yeah, I see it. Someone whose Twitter handle is @milk_s_word.
Yeah.
That is their Twitter handle. Here, I'll show it. I'll bring it up right now.
And I don't know. It's just
that's awesome.
it's just crazy, man. And you can see the type of
alcohol.
You can see the type of people that are agreeing. Of course, all the people agreeing with this girl, are the typical pronouns in the bio, and they all have the hashtag BLM attached to their names.
Told me he would give me money for a cab if I kissed him. That just seems unbelievable to me. That just seems, it just seems ridiculous. What else do they say? Then stuck his tongue in my mouth. He continued to text me how to give BJs and tried to convince me to come down to have. What? It doesn't even make any sense. Pressured me to stay quiet and told me all about the drunk women he would sleep with on set. Also, the dude was upset when I didn't even know who he was and called him a B-list celeb.
Yeah, I'm sure she really did.
Okay. All right, we'll probably cover this more in depth tomorrow. But yeah, good find on that, Drew.
Yeah, she said she doesn't have screenshots of texts, unfortunately. This happened in May of 2013. I have since changed cell phone providers and my phone number. Oh, how convenient.
Oh.
Yet you didn't tell your
That's
parents.
enough to just stay on the device, though. They're local to the device.
Yeah, well, it's like, you didn't tell your parents, so you're 17, you come home from the convention, this happens. You
Whoa.
don't confide in your mom or dad, and then because, if you did that, most parents would turn around and probably report it to the police for you. It's like, I mean, there's so many holes in this.
Depending on where she is, 17 might be age of consent. Isn't 17? Age
Well,
of
yeah,
consent
16 is age
In a
of
couple states, it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
16, 17.
Well, it also might be abroad too, so who knows?
but
I
it's
don't know where
just
the person is.
But it's just, yeah, she's a broad, all right. But the thing is it's like I said, when you read this account, this person clearly there's holes in it. It's like, what did you do when you got home? Why did you not, confide in a parent or somebody like that? Because then they would have easily have gone to the police at that point and said, hey, look, my daughter was just sexually assaulted.
Apparently, she was cheating on her boyfriend too.
Yeah,
If her story's true.
yeah. It's so. I mean, my goodness, this is a hot mess.
Wait, Deviant Porg is saying the creators of The Expanse tweeted they contacted those appropriate to take measures against him. Are you serious? What? Oh my gosh.
What does that mean? Like they ratted him out?
They're calling the cops? I don't know.
Well, yeah, there's something supposedly here. Hold on, I'll share it. Let me find it. Okay, there's something supposedly right here. This here. Let me screen share it. This is what I think Porg is talking about. Hold on. Let's see. Chrome tab.
Don't tell me I have to stop watching The Expanse.
All right, so this is supposedly a thing. This person, Ubi Subject 17, said, all right, I'm still going through my DMs from Cass Anbar from years ago. I'm not ready to post any more than this right now, but I feel this must specifically be seen. This is him asking my help to take down a woman who outed his behavior on Twitter. So this is supposedly from Cass Anvar to this guy or girl or whatever.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter. It's a Twitter chat, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at all the misspelling and shit like that.
That's normal, though.
Yeah.
I misspell stuff all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've said nothing.
Giving gamers a black eye.
Normally, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd block her, move on, but she crossed the line and attacked me in my livelihood, in my work, my job, my integrity.
In 2013.
So, yeah.
Was he a gamer at that time? Was he like? Why is he saying gamers?
Well, no, he is a big gamer.
Oh, okay, I don't know much about him personally.
I sent him a DM because he had open DMs,
Did he respond?
And I told him, hey, look, I would like to hear your side. I'm an independent journalist. I write for 2 different websites. If you ever want to do an interview, reach out. Yeah, stay strong, buddy. That's what I told him. So,
all right.
Maybe he'll reach out to me, maybe not, but the offer's out there. So, if he does, then we'll get some exclusive details from Cass Anbar.
He should lawyer up.
I'm sure he already is.
Up. Same with Angry Joe. Freaking lawyer.
Angry Joe has lawyered up.
Yeah,
Angry Joe lawyered up immediately.
Well, the thing is I hope that he doesn't get fired from The Expanse for this.
We'll see. I mean, the way Hollywood is now.
Yeah.
But I do want to get back to stuff. Oh, go on, Don.
I mean, if they do fire him from The Expanse, I mean, goodbye. No more Expanse. Sorry.
What was that?
That was my wallet. Sorry.
I thought it was a lightsaber at first, and you were trying to cosplay as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forbidden Ruin said like even Angry Joe's accuser story is riddled with holes and contradictions, and that's like common with these. It's like these women come out, and a lot of these accusations are like years and years ago, and it's like it's kind of a head scratcher. Like, why would you come out now about it? Because the person happens to have money or this or that. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sue them? I mean, it's like, it's crazy.
Believe all women?
Yeah, I don't believe shit. I mean,
take that pledge, Drew. You got to take the comics pledge, man.
Yeah, get out of here. I mean, I don't believe women. I mean, I stopped believing women after two ex-fiancés. Yeah, after being through my two ex-fiancés, I don't believe women. I don't believe a damn thing they say unless, it's written in stone. I mean, show me some proof.
Hey, if a woman's committed to actually carving it in stone, then you take them seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
right?
actually doing it. Like, show me a slab of stone with the whatever she wrote.
John Willis.
Impressed.
John Willis, you're exactly right. In many cases, a lot of these false accusations, that's what it turns out to be, or they're seeking money. They're seeking a monetary return. So, I mean, you have in these cases, you have to let these play out. I feel sorry for the guys that get accused because it puts you in a bad spot. Obviously, professionally. Your professional reputation takes a huge hit no matter what, because of course people like to, with the advent of social media, drag people into the court of public opinion. And that shouldn't be how it works.
Yeah. William Ramskill is saying if the statements are true, there's still no crimes been committed in either Joe or Warren's case. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That they don't care. Like Drew was saying, they want to try you in the court of public opinion. They want you to get fired from your job. They want to ruin you. They want YouTube to blacklist you. They want people to stop following you. They want to hurt you.
It's a power move. It's a pure power move. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They've already hurt you, and and people will believe it even if they didn't do all the research. Because, as we know from experience, all you have to do is hear one story, and then it circulates, and then you have to go on it takes longer to prove an accusation false than it does to just accept an accusation on a knee-jerk response.
Well, look what happened with Andy Signore. I mean, he lost everything. He had to start.
Well, he cheated on his wife, right? So.
Oh yeah, he did. I mean, it doesn't make.
He threw away some stuff on his own, but I mean, I understand what was happening. Like there's a little bit of no party was in the right there.
Yeah, well, me too.
Better
me too.
Example.
Me too.
Oh
yeah. Me Too is just another. Yeah, Me Too is just another destructive movement, same as BLM and the rest of the stuff. It's there's nothing really noble about it. I guess if you get into the core of it, sure, it might in a way help some victims, but the people that it helps far outweighs the people that it hurts, and it's hurt a lot of innocent people, and it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I think Don makes a good point here. We'll see what happens with the Johnny Depp case. I think that might set an example for a lot of these to come.
You got a point. That's a good point.
Profile. Because the angry, as big as Angry Joe is, he's still not like John. He's nowhere near Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's no Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Cass Anbar. I mean, there's a big difference between Cass Anbar and Johnny Depp.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Johnny Depp case will definitely be a bellwether case on where that stuff goes. But I do want to get back a little bit to Star Wars.
Yeah, Go back.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I think we kind of covered the Favreau stuff pretty well. But I did want to talk a little bit more about this this plan that they have, and then the internal struggles that are going on. And I think there are I think we were saying that I do agree that there is the Civil War happening. I think there's the Kennedy camp. I think there's the Favreau camp. I think that's very obvious from the fact that we saw what people were saying, who kind of were in the good graces of Kennedy when you had Ryan Johnson basically shitting on the fans. J.J. Abrams was doing the same thing. And now you have Favreau coming in and he's just like, yeah, we need to read the room. So I definitely think there's a civil war going on there. I definitely think that there's I think Favreau does want to take Star Wars in a different direction than what we saw. I still disagree.
Any direction's better than where we are now.
Yeah, I still hate that they introduced. I still hate force healing.
Yep.
In the Mandalorian.
Hey, I can do that in SWOTOR.
Yeah, but the thing is, there needs to be a very, very, very heavy consequence to it.
Yes.
Like
it needs to be like in the Legends books in the comics where you had to. I mean, they kind of show that there was a consequence with Kylo. He died. But
that was so that was basically an afterthought.
Yeah, that really was.
But yeah,
but you're right.
There needs to be that consequence needs to be applied to the Baby Yoda, which it doesn't seem like there is. He just gets conked out, gets really tired.
If anything, it should be transferring the wound to you. So if you got a stab in the arm and you use your force powers, then your arm has a stab in it, and the person you're healing no longer has the stab.
That's
some
role-playing stuff, though. Freaking.
Yeah, but I mean, you just kind of have to workshop ideas as to why it's a dangerous thing to do, even though it's kind of sacrificing, part of your life to save another. There has to be a noble aspect to it. In the Rise of Skywalker, Rey did it, and it meant it had no effect on her. It didn't even matter. It was just, I am the miracle killer.
When she did it to Kylo, it didn't affect her at all.
Yeah, you're probably wondering, why is she next to Leia, who's now under a white tarp for the rest of the movie?
Where Leia just force projected
Han.
Yeah, I guess.
Which we had to figure that out by reading some other content.
Was that what it was?
Leia force projects a Han Solo to interact with Kylo Ren.
Wow, that's even worse.
So Leia never had a scene with her son in the sequel trilogy.
So Leia's almost as powerful as freaking Luke.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Without any training, it's so. Oh my god! Yeah.
Well, off-screen training. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's all Legends now, it all doesn't matter. Just like that Star Wars writer talked about.
We won't be that lucky.
It doesn't matter anyways, right?
Yeah.
You're right, Spencer. We won't be that lucky.
But I do want to. I don't think that this. I still don't believe the rumor. Unless Kennedy's gone, then maybe it might be there. I just don't think that they're going to sideline the past everything Disney's done since they've gotten control of Star Wars, and just sideline it. I just don't think
it'd be a very embarrassing admission. That's for sure.
Which they have no intention of doing.
Unless Kennedy's gone, unless Iger's gone, I don't see it happening.
And Iger's not going anywhere. He just appointed himself to the highest position in Disney's ever had.
Yeah, I think he invented a new position for it or something.
He did. He invented executive director, where everyone reports to him.
Yeah,
I'll put on the tinfoil hat.
Cool.
So yeah, he's there until he runs for president.
If he does, yeah.
If he ends up doing that, that's basically
he will.
So I think that's. I mean, is there anything else you want to say on the Star Wars stuff? I know Doomcock had another video that came out this week, but I haven't gotten to it yet, so I haven't looked at it, so I don't really know what he says in there. And I think it's. I have it to work on tomorrow. But he talked. I think the headline was something on he outlines the specifics maybe on how they were going to do it. So
I'll put on the tinfoil hat. I think Star Wars is trying to make some moves. Because why would they have Jon Favreau issue that statement?
Right.
Especially the week after we find out this video from Filoni speaking at a women's conference.
I think that's just probably coincidence.
I think it's a Band-Aid.
We do know that they watched The Phantom Menace. I mean, J.J. Abrams
do.
mentioned them in an interview. So yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's also kind of strange is that we haven't heard any sort of public statements from Kathleen Kennedy in, 9-10 months?
Yeah,
almost a year?
Been really quiet. I think the last time she actually did anything public was like D23 with Obi-Wan.
But I think she was also answer some questions at the premiere of Rise of Skywalker, too.
Okay,
I don't even remember her being at the premiere, honestly. I'm sure she was there. That's how little of a presence she had. I don't even remember her being there.
I think she was there because there's someone asked what's in store for the next in Star Wars, and she had all these other ideas, and then Bob Iger was asked a similar question, and he basically said the exact opposite of what Kathleen Kennedy was saying.
Oh yeah, I do remember that a little bit. Yeah, because I think we reported on that. It was just like, what is going on? These people are contradicting themselves.
Have they been in the same room in the last year?
Yeah,
probably not.
But I mean, the Obi-Wan I think is a big smirch that they have to redo it after she came out and was like, "Oh yeah, it's great. We can't wait. Everything's ready to go."
Man, no, their Obi-Wan thing is done. If I had 5 minutes with Kathleen Kennedy, I'd be like, "Listen, this is how you save Obi-Wan. You make it the Princess Bride. Get Jimmy Smits in. He's telling stories to little Leia about his adventures with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you just make it episodic."
Cool.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They did that. They actually did that.
that.
They have they in the Star Wars comics, in between when Luke is flying to Dagobah, he's reading Obi-Wan's journal, and reading about Obi-Wan's stories, which that's a great idea.
And you can have them stories that take place during the Clone War, stories of Obi-Wan training Anakin and Leia not knowing that Anakin's her father. And maybe even saying Anakin's such a cool person. I wish I'd known him, and that just breaks Jimmy Smits' heart type of thing.
Or instead of Jimmy Smits, why don't they just do the deep fake of Sir Alec Guinness?
No, Jimmy Smits is Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
He's the guy that's telling the story. Then you got Ewan McGregor to play Obi-Wan.
So John Willis he reminded us that Kennedy was on that Mandalorian Gallery panel with Favreau, and he kind of
for that one
silenced her.
Oh yeah, I really got to check that out.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I haven't watched any of that stuff. I don't know if it's.
I always like production. I always like shop talk. So.
Have you watched any of that, Don?
Yeah, I was trying to look for the time where Kennedy was interrupting, and then Jon Favreau shuts her down. I'm trying to look for that one.
Okay, Itchy's got it on his site. Disney Stars is dumb. I know he's got that. He's got the clip because I think he did a trial version. He succumbed. The guy doesn't want to have anything to do with Disney anymore, but he wanted that clip, so he did a trial and then got it and then X'd out.
That's journalism.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about this. I mean, there's definitely some issues with The Mandalorian, but I definitely think it was in the right direction. The big issue is the force healing, and I think
pacing.
I don't know, the pacing and just kind of some of the script you like to call them filler episodes. I want to call them more episodic episodes. They could have been a little bit better on how they were managed. To fit in with the serialization of the season, but it definitely had more of a Star Wars vibe. I mean, obviously, we had issues with characterization of the Mandalorian, where he's supposed to be this great bounty hunter, feared bounty hunter, and then he's making dumb mistakes like charging headfirst into a monster's den, and just getting owned by a Star Wars rhino and stuff like that. And then you get the prison episode where he's outsmarting everyone. He's
really inconsistent.
Yeah, putting the bomb on the guy who double crossed him. So Filoni comes and blows him up with the X-wings.
That's a frightening part of the scene to think about, that the Republic is sending their fighters to blow up a station they don't know anything about just because it has a beacon on it from a prison ship. It's like, no investigation, just blow it up.
Yeah, and especially they blow it up, especially after like they literally would. I would assume that their scanners would have seen the Mandalorian ship like departing.
Yeah,
from
unless it's that like got a cloak thing on it or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that. Like, there were some issues with it.
Yes.
Definitely could have been a little bit tighter, but it did kind of recapture a little bit of that Star Wars vibe that has been missing in many of the Disney sequel. I would say in almost all the Disney sequel films, except for maybe The Force Awakens, because it was basically a remake,
hollowed out remake of A New Hope. But like,
I thought
Clancy
Rogue One
Brown
had a
as
little bit of it too.
Yeah, Clancy Brown as the Red Devil creature in that prison thing was awesome. Like that makeup was great, but they didn't use the same level for the Twi'leks at all. Like they were wearing like hats.
Yeah, the Deveronian was fantastic. Yeah, I love the Deveronian costuming, but yeah, the Twi'lek stuff was trash. It was not what you expect from Star Wars production.
And then Clancy Brown doesn't like doing full body makeups.
He's allergic to makeup.
Yeah. So.
Well, I would argue that the Twi'leks looked worse in The Mandalorian than they did in the
prequel trilogy and in Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. The Twi'lek looks better as the Jabba the Hutt slave than he does in. And I guess his advisors is Jabba's translator a Twi'lek too?
I don't know what he is, but he has one tentacle that goes around his neck.
He's got the one thing that wraps around him, like a scarf.
I don't know if he is a Twi'lek or not. I can't remember.
He's a Twi'lek.
I used to know that. I have forgotten a lot about Star Wars.
No, he is. Viv Fortuna is a Twi'lek.
Okay.
He just has a very penis-y looking Twi'lek.
He's just a very old Twi'lek.
Looks like he looked better too. Yes, Mark.
Even in Revenge of the Sith, they had a Twi'lek Jedi who got killed towards the end.
She looked way better as well. I mean, that was obviously some CGI stuff, I felt like, as well. But yeah, she still looked better than the Twi'leks that we saw in The Mandalorian. But hopefully the costuming there improves. But yeah, like we saw, the Clancy Brown as the Deveronian looked fantastic. But yeah, so I think I'm not Gary where he says he's kind of just done with Star Wars. I think I do agree with Bob Iger. He says that there's a plethora of Star Wars stories to tell. I do believe that. Whether or not that they can actually tell them at a high level is another story. I think Favreau shows that they can do that. He's not. I was listening to Midnight's Edge After Dark, and you guys were talking about script writing, and I think a lot of Hollywood now is just they're so ingrained in this worldview that they can't write outside of it, and I think that's why you see a lot of the stuff that we get, because they can't think outside of that box. They're stuck inside of that box.
Yeah, a lot of the prominent voices are in that area right now, which is pretty unfortunate. Because there's a saying in Hollywood where a franchise is dead until it's not, meaning that nothing ever stays buried forever. Like someone will bring it back eventually. So even if you think Star Wars is dead, it's only going to be for a short while. Someone's going to come in with an idea that's going to blow it back up again. It's always inevitable.
Yeah, even when we weren't getting movies, we were getting fantastic Star Wars stories like The Old Republic.
Yep.
So
it's going to happen in other media. It might be a TV show, it might be a comic book, a novel, video game. Might go back to movies. We don't know. It's
Fallen Order.
I know some people have some praise for that. I still think it buys in too much to the BS Disney sequel.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fallen Order.
It has a better explanation. What's that, Don?
You just don't like platforming.
No, I think I don't. I definitely don't like platforming. I can't. It's probably my worst game type. But at the same time, it also has that BS Disney sequel trilogy story stuff to it. It talks the what's her name, the woman who rescues Cal has I'm rejecting the Force, pushing it away, which is you can't push something away with Obi-Wan says it's binds you together and it surrounds us.
They're trying to take I think they're trying to take a page out of the Dark Forces series, where Kyle Katarn can like jump into the Jedi Temple and be imbued with the Force, and then be separated from it. But it's really just he doesn't have it. It's not as easy for him to use when he doesn't jump into the Jedi Temple to get imbued. Like that was the only thing. Like,
so that would make more sense because then you would have like a more concentration of the Force, which is explained with the midichlorians. That makes sense. You could explain it that way. This idea that you're pushing it away is I don't buy that. It's the garbage.
Invent a midichlorian suppressor,
that,
right?
Maybe you could.
Yeah. Like just a drug she has to take to suppress her midichlorians, and therefore she can hide as like a non-Force user.
Yes, I would buy that better than this. It's just buying into the Last Jedi. Luke can cut himself off from the Force, which rejects the. It is a rejection. It's not even a deconstruction of the Force. It's a rejection of the Force, and completely just denies this what it actually is. But yeah, so I have issues with that game from a story standpoint too. But that was the main one because I stopped playing it because the platforming was just too much. I just was done.
Yeah,
I was done with it. I was like, I don't want to play. I didn't realize I was buying a platformer. I was buying an RPG, and it was a platformer. I should have watched more gameplay footage. But that's my fault.
Basically, just butt mashing for like 12 hours, right?
With a platformer?
Yeah.
No, platformers aren't really button mashing. Platformers are like you have to hit the button at the right time.
All right, yeah.
Like Mario is a platformer. Super Mario is a platformer. Zelda is Zelda now is a platformer. Didn't used to be a platformer. Used to be a pure RPG. It's a platformer now. That happened with they became a platformer in N64, where you had to climb up and jump around and
Oh, actually, I remember doing stuff like that for the original Zelda for Nintendo. You had to like do mazes and stuff like that. There was no turn base.
No, on Nintendo.
On the original Nintendo, yeah.
Where you
the gold case Legend of Zelda. Top-down view. There's like a maze you have to go through.
Yeah, that's not
screens.
Platforming though.
No,
that's a puzzle.
No, it's a puzzle, but I mean, you can fire randomly whenever you want. You don't have to do no turn bases.
Right. Yeah, that's not platforming though. You're just solving puzzles. A platform, Spencer, I don't know why he's not talking.
Like a side scroller Mega Man type thing, right?
Yeah, Link's Awakening in the sequel to that game.
That would be okay.
Platformer.
Yeah.
I'm learning more about games because I don't know.
The original Metroid.
Metroid is. Yeah, it's a platformer. Ratchet and Clank, I would say. Mm-hmm. I think is a platformer. It's a popular game type. I just don't like it.
Quite all right.
That's just my opinion. It's not a platformer. I mean, I told Anna, that Star Wars girl, she was like asking about like, oh, who wants is Jedi Fallen Order worth buying? And I was like, only if you like platforming. But
I think I saw that. I think she asked the same question I did, which is what the heck's a platformer?
Yeah, which I was surprised. I thought that was a pretty common term for video game.
It probably is for video games, but you're talking to two people who don't really play video games.
Yeah, I guess. All right, did we want to talk some MCU rumors, Don?
I think didn't we want to get to the good news first?
What's the good news?
Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. Lead the way on that. I'll let you lead on that. I didn't
write the story. Eric did.
Oh, who's Eric? JB wrote that story.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
JB wrote that story.
DC is not my wheelhouse. All I know is I heard something about Ryan Reynolds getting...
Oh, he's supposed to make a reprise in Snyder Cut as Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Yes. So script kind of just explained it there. There's a rumor that Ryan Reynolds is going to reprise his role as a Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. That rumor came from Grace Randolph. Who knows what kind of cameo we'll have. The original Justice League cut had a Green Lantern basically just flying around. He like flew around
Flying
for
with
like
the
1 second.
Amazons, yeah.
Yeah, flew around for 1 second on screen when Steppenwolf was attacking Earth. The teaser trailer for Justice League obviously implies that that is going to be retconned, and it's going to be Darkseid leading the charge there. So if you remember, there's this scene with all the Apocalypse.
Destroyer ships, yeah.
I guess they're just terraforming. They looked like they were terraforming ships because they're shooting stuff down. But yeah, the invading army was coming.
Yeah. Another
was
terraforming plot in a Zack Snyder superhero film. Oh,
What?
jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what that makes sense though. Darkseid does that.
Yeah, Darkseid does that. Didn't make sense for the Kryptonians to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make this planet where we're gods turn us into someone that's human again.
Oh, you know what I also noticed in that little clip? Darkseid had a spear.
Yeah, the
I think
Spear of
that's like
Destiny.
pre-Omega Darkseid, right?
Yeah, you guys were talking about that earlier on Mead, and you're saying
Yeah.
so. I don't actually think so. I don't think Snyder's actually called him Darkseid. He's always referred to him as Uxas, which is
The name
his
before,
name
yeah.
before he takes the title Darkseid. But yeah, that spear is the Spear of Destiny. Zach's like made that clear in previous posts.
Didn't we see some clips or yeah, we saw some clips of James Gunn's Suicide Squad and Harley was carrying a spear as well?
Yeah, she has
Yep.
this huge spear.
Gets into a cab with it.
What's that?
She gets into a cab with it.
Yeah, she gets into a cab, which it doesn't fit in the cab, I don't think. But yeah, there's speculation that it could be the Spear of Destiny. There's also speculation that it could just be a spear from one of the characters who's like a spearman. His like weapons are spears. I forget his name right now. He's definitely going to be a character who's going to die like
I know.
badly.
I know on the Darkseid planet they do have a weapon that looks like a cylinder, but I think it's called like a boomstick or something. I can't remember the name, but like Granny Goodness has one and Calabac has one.
They have boom tubes that that allows them to travel through
Right.
space.
Mother boxes open the boom tubes, and then they have a
Right.
weapon that they use. Anyone in the chat knows, help me out here because I used to know what this weapon was.
There's also the boom mics that the Best Grip carries around, and
No, that's the sound operator
or
carries.
whatever those guys are called.
It's called a
I
sound
still don't have
operator
my boom.
or the
I
boom
still
operator.
have to order mine. I got the mic here.
You still haven't put it up.
He doesn't have the adapter for it.
I have the mic. I have to get the right piece because apparently I ordered the wrong one. So I got I got this, but
The
it
arm,
it doesn't fit my mic. So I
I'll
gotta
get
get the
you-
right mic.
I'll
The
get you
right.
JJ's bad robot arm.
You know what? Just send me the dimensions of the actual microphone, and I'll see if I can 3D print you an adapter for that and send it to you.
Take a lot.
I found what I think I need on Amazon. I just haven't pulled the trigger on purchasing it yet, though. Things I want to buy, I just haven't, or I need to buy that I just haven't pulled the trigger on yet. I need to do that. John Willis is saying I think it was a book stick.
Okay, I can't remember.
Maybe I think he might have hit. I think he might mean boomstick.
What if it was a boomstick? Okay.
Yeah, because on your keyboard
M and K's are close together.
right next to each other. I think that might just be a typo. Yeah, I mean, maybe the biggest thing I hope for the Snyder Cut is that Darkseid is like super popular. It does well. People like receive it well, and then the Ava Duvernay New Gods film is canceled. It's gone because
Justice League Dark.
Yeah, I guess with Abrams, I don't think that's going to get canceled though. But yeah, I have zero interest in Ava Duvernay directing a New Gods film written by Tom King. Like I just don't think it's going to be good.
I want to see her do some smaller
horrible-
stuff and get her skills up to par for that because she's been thrust into a couple of epics really early in her career. And
she bombed with Once Upon, or what was it?
yeah,
the Disney
that
film.
A Wish in Time thing.
Yeah, whatever it was. The book adaptation.
Yeah.
Where
A
they
Butthole in Time?
A Wrinkle in
where
Time.
they-
Okay, there
A
you
Wrinkle
go.
in Time, where they changed everything.
Yeah.
All the characters were changed. They removed Christianity from the book, which was like a
kind
big
of
part.
central to the plot and the
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, they removed, like erased. And then Ava Duvernay has the nerve to lecture people on erasure. So, yeah, she can just
Kick rock.
screw her. I have no intention of watching anything that she does anymore. But so, I've kind of just lost where I was going to go now because it's just.
Star Wars. Oh wait, yeah. Star Wars.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. We're talking Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, there you go.
Green Lantern. Yeah, I think that I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor. I wouldn't mind seeing him get another chance at doing Green Lantern.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Greg Berlanti's not involved, he's got a shot because he wrote the first one.
True. I keep preaching this. I still have no, like, if AT&T, if you're listening right now, you already have absolutely fantastic stories for all your superheroes. They're in your animated TV shows in Justice League Unlimited,
Green Lantern, the animated
series, Batman the animated series. Those stories are right there for the picking. You want to just adapt those to a film or to a TV series, have at it, because you already have those are excellent stories and are just ready to go. And I still have no idea. Batman Beyond, I still don't understand why that hasn't been like taken up.
Hard to adapt. You need a really good writing team, and I think AT&T is just trying to figure out what the heck they're doing in this new business of theirs. So,
yeah, OC Steve is saying he's going to die in the Snyder Cut, and the Ring will find a new host. Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way too. He gets his cameo, Deadpool. He can even make fun of Deadpool. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm still alive. Like, or maybe he like mentions a fight with a guy in a red suit or something like that, and I don't know. He can crack some jokes from it. It could be fun too. But yeah, I like that.
Crap on
I like
Fox.
that idea. OCC. I've heard this rumor about Kyle Rayner. I'm not. I know the movie is going to be Hal Jordan and
Jon Stewart.
Kyle Rayner. I don't know.
I don't think he's in the TV show part. I think it's two brand new characters. Or
Yeah,
I think one's Jessica Cruz and the other one's someone else.
Yeah, Jessica Cruz and the
Oh, the chick
Muslim
that looks
guy.
like me?
What's his
Or at
name?
least my avatar.
Yeah, the
I don't know
rumor
that
I've
either.
seen is it's that Simon Boz, that's his name.
Okay.
Simon Boz and Jessica Cruz were going to be the main focuses of the TV show, which kind of reflects CW choices from Berlanti. And then that they'll be taking over as the protectors, and then the movie will have Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and they're kind of be referenced in the ideas that the show and the movie will be referenced together, similar to what Marvel's doing with their TV shows and movies.
I guess on
haven't
the
heard
Disney Plus
anything
thing,
about
yeah.
Kyle Rayner.
Mm.
I always liked Guy Gardner. I really liked Guy in the animated series, and in I think he was in Justice League Unlimited a little bit too. I liked his. Green
I don't
Lantern.
remember him in Justice League Unlimited, but he was in Batman Brave and the Bold.
Maybe that's where.
And
I remember he showed up. Maybe he showed up in. No, I think I'm thinking Green
He's in
Lantern
Young
animated
Justice.
series.
yeah, he was in
think
Green
Green
Lantern, the
Lantern-
animated series, voiced by Diedrich Bader. I remember that.
Because they fight the Manhunters.
Yeah, they
if I
fight the
remember
Manhunters
correctly.
and the Anti-Monitor.
And he plays a key role there, and I liked him because he's like super cocky and super arrogant, and I don't know. He's just like a fun character.
Yeah.
So-
They
and-
introduced him in season 4 of Young Justice. He was all right. He was in a couple of scenes, but he definitely was the annoying and cocky character we all come to enjoy.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I like that. We don't see. I feel like we don't get to see a lot of those characters anymore. They're never viewed, or if we do see them, they're not viewed in a good light. They're usually bad guys now, rather than folks with some bravado and confidence, and they just they feel like they can get it done, and they do get it done. That's kind of what OC Steve is no one wants Guy Gardner in the league in Young Justice.
Yeah, I think Kyle Rayner was only ever in Superman the Animated Series for one episode.
Spencer, whose mic has died, says that Kyle is his favorite Lantern. He says Rayner's not in the Green Lantern cartoon, unfortunately.
No, they didn't get a third season to explore the others. They're supposed to introduce Jon Stewart because they mentioned him in the Green Lantern animated cartoon.
Gosh, I have
such a good cartoon.
It really is. It's Batman animated series level good. I mean, it's so much fun,
they did the Stranded in Space story really well.
They explore all the different. So I guess John's introduced all the rainbow rings, and they explored all of those, and then you they have this idea that the rings don't define you.
They did the blue, the orange, the red, the green, and the purple. I think they just didn't do white or black yet. I think they're saving white and black for after the Anti-Monitor storyline. Right,
but they the guy who was the Red Lantern. They did a really good job with that, and yes, he realized that there was more than one way to use your anger. Anger isn't always a bad thing, which it isn't. Anger is not always a bad thing. There's righteous anger.
Yeah. It's okay to be upset about something that's it's just part of life.
Yeah, and they did a really good job with that, and I really liked his character. Does he become? And they even had an artificial the ship. The ship.
Oh, Aya, yeah. She was a construct. She was the AI and a construct at the same time.
Yeah, she becomes a Green Lantern, which was really cool.
And then she gets corrupted and becomes the Anti-Monitor herself. It was just really good.
Yeah, so good. So Mega Jetty, thanks for joining us. I think you joined a little bit earlier. I just must have missed calling you out. Cobra Kai got moved to Netflix because YouTube is getting out of the original programming gig. Netflix made a better offer. Yeah, we were talking about. I actually was on Midnight Edge After Dark last night with Script Doctor. We were talking about that. I haven't watched any of the Karate Kid, but it is on my list. Script and Tom made very persuasive arguments to get me to watch. They did also told me that it's free on YouTube right now, which I didn't know.
If you live in the U.S., the seasons 1 and 2 should be free for you. Outside the U.S., you still have to be a YouTube Premium or Red subscriber.
Yeah, so I will have to try and start watching some of that. I've seen I was flipping. My wife was flipping the channels earlier here, and the Karate Kid was actually on one of the channels, the original. So they've been playing that. I've seen that. I think I watched a little bit of it at one point. But yeah, let's talk. What are we at? We got about 10 minutes, I guess. Let's talk Marvel real quick to wrap it up.
Cool.
All right, I'll let you lead that, Don. Let's do.
Let's talk about the New Mutants.
New Mutants.
Okay, I looked at it and saw it trending.
Is there a release date?
No, there's no reason. It's just never coming out.
It's trending? Oh yeah, there's 1,000, almost 2,000 tweets.
Every time I think of it, I think of dogs. Again.
It looks like it's just people saying it's not coming out, or it's being pushed back. Oh no, it's trending because Discussing Film tweeted, "Choose 3 movies to watch now. The rest stay delayed." That's why it's trending. Okay. Yeah, I hate when you click on Twitter and you have to scroll
find out what it is,
to figure out what's going on, because you just get these you literally just get like these Denzel memes, like that's like of him like going, oh, I'm so glad I thought it was over or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's all you get. There's like just boom, a list of them. But yeah, Don, take us away. Let's do the. I guess we can do the Wolverine one. I didn't get to publish that yet. I didn't get to that.
You know what? You already did it. You did the story on it.
Yeah, but there was another. There was like that was like an. From what I understood, there was like an extra part to it. Like,
Yeah, it's.
Mikey said there was like
that one too. It's Alpha Flight.
Yeah, it's Alpha Flight. He like talked about that before, but he said in his post on Facebook, and he like linked to the Emergency Awesome video, and he said like they had like more info on in the scoop. So I thought there was like something. I thought there was more to it. Like there was more details. All right, well, take it away then.
Okay, so apparently, once upon a time, they made a rumor about introducing Wolverine into the MCU via a fight with the Incredible Hulk, who somehow is storming through the wildernesses of Canada, just like in Incredible Hulk number 180.
So his first appearance.
Which is like 10 blocks from my house.
Yeah. So this one ought to make Script Doctor happy. Apparently, they're thinking about making Alpha Flight a Disney Plus series.
Oh, cool.
Spinning out of the Wolverine vs. Hulk film. Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll stem from the Wolverine Hulk film.
I actually like this idea a lot.
Yeah. I like it, but they got to do a lot of work to try to, retcon the fact that mutants are already part of the universe.
They just all live in Canada right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe it.
Second largest country on the planet. Big place. Lots of hiding space. The trick is basically
like
getting
90%
a
of
that people are going to really want to watch and be invested in.
They're in those diamond mines. They've got a base in the diamond mine.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Just to the left of the oil pipes.
Yeah. No, I actually think this is a cool idea. So the idea is that Wolverine is Weapon X. He's broken free from a lab. He's on the rampage. The Canadian government views Wolverine as an experiment that they want to reclaim. They initiate the Alpha Flight to capture him. Wolverine is more of a threat. He's able to deal with Alpha Flight, but the Alpha Flight also runs into the Hulk, who is apparently in rage mode, and he's supposed to be the immortal Hulk. He's supposed to be so he's Bruce Banner during the day. What's that, Spencer?
That would be surprising if they brought that super recent storyline in, because it's super weird and super like body horror-y. So I'd be really interested to see how they do that.
Yeah, especially after this stupid Professor Hulk thing in Avengers that we got. But yeah, I think you have to do something different with the Hulk to make him. I think, and Immortal Hulk is a pretty good story. It does get a little woke as it goes along, but the beginning is actually pretty good. From what I actually did read some of it, and it was pretty good. But so basically, the idea is that he's Bruce Banner during the day, Hulk during the night, and Hulk takes over, and Bruce doesn't have any control, and then Bruce has control, and then Hulk doesn't have any during the day, and he's in Hulk mode and he's raging, and you get that reference to that first Wolverine Hulk fight when I think they're tracking Wendigo in the comics.
In the comics, yeah, it's Wendigo.
Yeah. But so yeah, it sounds like a pretty good plot. You can add some more stuff in there. Maybe like Xavier shows up or something like that. Who knows? But I like the idea of like the government is going after Hulk to reclaim the property. There's obviously probably a government conspiracy. They're trying to keep these like experimentations on mutants undercover. And then like Hulk is there just like as like an agent of chaos maybe. And then it could bring Wolverine into the Avengers too. I don't know. There's lots of opportunities. I like this. The story. It doesn't smell. If this rumor is true, it doesn't smell like Eternals. It actually feels like a like a fun, entertaining, like superhero romp movie that also has a little bit something we haven't really seen, with like the kind of like I mean, obviously you had government conspiracy and like Winter Soldier, but it's a little bit different when you're experimenting on mutants and trying to cover that up. And then you also have like a government sanctioned superhero team, which they kind of talk about that in Civil War, but we don't really actually see it put in place. I don't like, they're not like it seems like Alpha Flight seems in the rumor, they are like being ordered by the Canadian government to go get Wolverine. So I think there's a lot of cool things there. I'd be interested in seeing that. And Deviant Pork says Alpha Flight has a gay member, if I remember. Yep. North Star.
North Star.
So actually, like a character who has been gay, and in the comics, and that's where he like originally been that way. So yeah, I think that's also a good thing too.
But no, Wolverine will be gay. Sorry.
Potentially, we'll see. Maybe.
Whatever rumor you're listening
That's the
to.
rumor. That's another rumor.
Because that's so important.
Will they end it with Hulk tearing Wolverine in half? Mark 63366 asks. I think it's a draw in the comics, right? Don't they have a draw?
I know in the first battle between them, like back in the '60s, it was a draw.
Yeah. Hulk gets like some really good licks in on him.
Yeah.
If I remember. But yeah, I think it's mostly they end up like going their own way. I think they team up against Wendigo and then they go their own way.
Yeah, they team up and then Wolverine attacks Hulk at the end of it. And then Hulk is confused. And then Department H comes in and says, hey, Wolverine, you failed to get the Hulk. So come back to base. We're going to blast him. And
sounds like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that's 182.
It's a great comic.
Yeah.
It was a good
That's
comic.
Hulk 182?
Yeah, Incredible Hulk
182.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
1979? 78. One of those years.
OC Steve is talking about Red Hulk would be rad. The U.S. government trying to get Weapon X. There's rumors that Red Hulk will show up in the She-Hulk Disney Plus.
Oh yeah,
series
Thunderbolt Ross, right?
Well, there's also rumors that we could be introduced to that idea in the Black Widow at the end of it.
Film. With end credit scene, I think post credit is the rumor that that Thunderbolt Ross is part of the frickin' what is his name, Zemo's team, right?
The Wrecking Crew. Is it the Wrecking Crew or the Thunderbolts?
The Thunderbolts. Sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking something different. Sorry, I was thinking, what is Zemo's team called? Legion of Evil or something like that. Masters of Evil. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Spencer. I got enough before you muted yourself again.
Yeah, exactly. Set me up.
Yeah, Masters. I was close. I was thinking Legion of Doom, but that's DC, and Masters of Evil. Yeah. So but yeah, you're right, Don. I think it's Thunderbolts, and it's Thunderbolt Ross. It's Taskmaster, and who's the other one? I think it's the Black Widow.
Yelena Belova.
Yeah, Yelena Belova. And those are supposed to be the Thunderbolts. OC Steve is saying Dark Avengers. I don't know if he's like. I think he's just pitching things. Maybe he's talking U.S. Agent Red Hulk and Zemo. But yeah, no, there's supposed to be. There's a rumor that the post-credit scene is Thunderbolts with Thunderbolt Ross there, and then you get more of that in She-Hulk. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's some. We'll see. I mean, I feel like the hype on the MCU has kind of died a little bit with COVID. We'll see if they can get the hype machine going. Disney knows how to do that.
Eternals.
How to do that. What's that?
Eternals.
Oh yeah, except for that, I just
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
The Eternals are going to do something and retroactively reintroduce the mutants to the MCU.
Oh gosh, if they do that, oh my gosh, dumb.
I thought you said Turtles at first. There was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rumor too, but
Kevin Eastman squashed that. Thank God.
Kevin Eastman was like, "That's not happening." But did you guys? Tom didn't. He didn't scroll down. The guy from the cinema spot. He like tweeted Eastman and was like, "Can you DM me?" It was kind of weird.
That is
I
kind of
don't
weird.
know.
I just wish that Tom recorded his reaction to seeing that, because that would have been
Yeah, it was
gold.
pretty good. Pretty epic. He was like not having anything to do with that Turtles rumor. But yeah, I mean, we just ran a rumor story, and Eastman like had our like took a screenshot of our site with the rumor. It wasn't our rumor, but we run rumors. Sometimes they are wrong, sometimes they're not. But if we are running an exclusive rumor, we put exclusive on there, and that is exclusive from us. And I think we have 100%. What is the term I'm looking
Track
for?
record.
100% track record on that. Dune. We were ahead of that story for a year that they were going to gender swap and race swap Elliot Kynes. 100% on that. I think we will be. We'll see what happens with Superman and Lois, but I think we're going to be right on that too.
Same with Wheel of Time, I think, also, right?
Yeah, Wheel of Time. We'll see what happens with that, but we haven't been proven wrong on that yet. So, and if we do end up being proven wrong, that's because they changed something. So.
It's just funny when we get all these people. It's hilarious. We get all these people on a daily basis coming at us on Twitter, like, "Oh, why do you print rumors?" It's like, well, hello, it says rumor in the freaking headline. We print rumors because rumor stories are pretty good.
And you never know; it might be true.
Yeah,
it could be true. Might not be true, but it's like it's like your talk at the comic shop.
About it, so we might as well cover it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because, like, these are the people that like read like the headline and that's it. They don't read the actual body of the story, and then they go on Twitter like, like, "Oh, I'm punking them. Look at this." And it's like, no, you're not. You're making yourself look like an ass because. I mean, we print rumor stories and we clearly state, hey, look, this is rumor.
Here's the thing, too. Like, there's some blowback, like, there's no real reliable source on this rumor. It's just something you got from 4chan. 4chan, you got some pissed off employees of a company just posting the rumor, just like Naughty Dog.
Yeah,
just
I was going to say, look at the last
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, Star Trek Picard. So
4chan is good for leaks, man.
Yeah. If I was pissed off at a company, I'd probably put stuff on 4chan.
Yeah. OC Steve is saying they used to post rumors in Wizard magazine. Yes, it's been part of like geek publishing for forever. I mean, rumors have been part of publishing for a very long time as well. I mean, they made a lot of money off of rumors in the grocery aisle.
If you go, like you said, Joe, if you go back to the old Starlog magazine, I think they had a rumor mill thing in there where they would, talk about stuff like that. I mean, it's a natural thing. It's been a part of like, pop culture journalism for forever. Yeah, and I also want to point out, like, so we're also honest when it's a rumor. People, example yesterday, the Keaton stuff, that is a rumor. That is not proven. That is a rumor from the Wrap. You saw other publications were running that as it's true.
Yeah,
it's
Variety,
true.
I think, did something that made it sound like it was true.
And even in the Wrap article, they say like he's in talks. It could change. Like, that's part of their rumor that he's in talks, and who knows if he's even in talks, because it is a rumor, and we ran it as a rumor, and we were the only. We were one of the only. If not, we might have been the only one that ran it as a rumor. And OC Steve is saying here, rumors lead to speculation, which create conversation about pop culture. Yes, they do. And I know Jeremy Griggs talked about this when people were trying to like cramp on him for running We Got This Covered rumors. And a lot of times these rumors, and I think you guys were talking about this today on Midnight Says After Dark script with Tom. A lot of these rumors can also be coming from inside the companies where they're trying to maybe gin up public support for a project to maybe try and get a greenlit.
Yep.
Yeah. Or get something similar to a greenlit. I mean, we've written in, Jorge wrote a really good article, and I think Tom had a video on this as well about how a lot of the Star Trek stuff is exactly that, because CBS is or Viacom CBS is currently having financial issues with their stock price being down after the merger.
Well, it's gone up a little bit over the last few months. I think it's doubled, which is
okay.
Good.
It's like $20
but
now instead of 10.
The thing is that like CBS and Viacom CBS, they only partially finance their shows. They usually try to get distributors like Netflix or Amazon to pay for the rest of it so it can go into production. And there's no guarantee that's going to be the case for Strange New Worlds or season 2 of Picard. Like, we don't know who's going to pay for those shows, and CBS can't pay for it out of pocket.
Yeah,
and they don't have an international distribution deal for those follow-up seasons either. Like, the last one is Netflix for season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. So who's paying for Picard season 2 to be produced and then distributed internationally so that they can get that money? And the same thing is going for Strange New Worlds. Who's going to be paying for that? Like, we don't know yet. Amazon's probably not going to do it because they lost money with Picard, and Netflix wants to be done with Secret Hideout and Star Trek, right? At least in this iteration. Who else is there to distribute through?
Maybe that's why they came up with Strange New Worlds. They're like, we've been abandoning the fans.
They're rejiggering their CBS All Access platform.
Yeah, to a super service, which is yet to be named.
Right. And they're going to combine with Showtime or whatever, and it's going to have Nickelodeon and Comedy Central and all that other stuff on there. I think Comedy Central, right? I think Comedy Central CBS.
Yep, I'm pretty. Yes, yeah. Comedy Central is owned by CBS.
Yeah, and all the good stuff that they've got there. John Willis is asking what happened to the STD3 movie. STD3?
There's no movie. Star Trek Discovery movie as far as we know, but there is speculation that the series finale is going to be kind of like movie scale.
Yeah, I think they talked about that in the interview.
And I know they can't do reshoots, so the only thing that they can do is edits to address any issues with the show, because all those sets are torn down at Pinewood, Toronto. So it's done. Like, they can't do anything.
Confirm that now, because I know you said you were like walking by and you couldn't, like, there was like a security guard or whatever, but you can confirm that now they've torn the sets down.
Yeah, I've been able to confirm that. A couple other people have told me as well.
Okay.
And other places, like Pinewood's kind of empty right now. They're trying to get people to move in because they've rented the space for new productions. Right. So, and the unions have got new rules on how to shoot things right now that producers are fighting with that. So it's a whole nightmare right now.
Yeah. I do want to get back to there was one other thing I wanted to say about the rumor stories, and that we print rumor on there because we also like respect the knowledge of the people that read our articles, and they can make their decision for themselves whether or not they want to believe it or not. And like, we have respect for our readers that they can make that discernment on whether or not they think that it could be true or they think that it's not true. And most of the times we actually ask that question at the end of the articles. What do you think of this rumor? Do you think it is legit or not? Like, that's at the end of a lot of those stories, which again is emphasizing the point that this is a rumor and we don't know, we can't confirm whether or not it is true or not, which is the definition of a rumor. But yeah, I feel like Drew was saying, I feel like we are dealing with this stuff like on a daily basis, and it's just kind of, I'm just kind of venting right now a little bit. All right, but
I mean, there's always the haters. Let them hate.
Oh yeah. I mean, now it's so great because it's just like, oh, you want to just kind of troll us, like, thanks for trying to hate on us. We're not going to cow to you. Please support Bounding into Comics. And like instantly they shut up and they go away because like I'm using them as like a marketing pitch now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love it.
So yeah, that's an easy way to just kind of silence these people because they realize they're actually like hurting their own cause by doing this. And we're just all right, but we're at 12:10, probably a little later because I think my clock here on the laptop is a little slow.
Yeah, mine too. It's supposed to be 12:15, but it says 12:13 on my computer.
Yeah. OC Steve says, I don't like that you post EVS articles. Oh gosh, you can just tell where they stand on like when you search Ethan Van Sciver and Brie Larson. It's like, okay. Yeah, so we're at probably quarter past midnight right now, Eastern time. So I think we're gonna wrap it up and we'll start with Don.
All right. You can see me on Twitter trying to insert some reasoning, understanding, and a little bit of sense of humor. I've got a YouTube channel as well.
Got a really uphill climb with that.
Got another Walton's Brew commercial?
Oh, that's coming.
I said you have a big uphill climb with inserting reasoning in the discussion.
Yeah, that's true.
You can catch me tomorrow. I've got Script Doctor coming in on. No, sorry. I've got Supreme Heretic, Drew Taylor, coming on with me for a little bit of therapy. We're going to unload all the shit that's been happening this week with cancel culture. Tomorrow, 10:45.
Should be a fun stream.
Pacific Standard Time.
What time? 12:45?
1:45 for you.
1:45. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're starting early for yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
1:45.
So as soon as you wake up, you're streaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don has weird hours, man.
Yeah, he does, man.
You got weird hours, dude.
He's always in editing articles when I am, so it's just that California time.
Yeah. All right, and you're still doing your Mutant Mondays as well?
Yeah, I missed last Monday because I wanted to get my rumors and speculation going. But rumors and speculation coming on Friday. Monday, you got the Mutant Monday morning Mutant Mumblings. We got the thing on Tuesday. We got the thing on Wednesday, and then pretty much every day of the week. I'm gonna get something going for kind of like a daily dose as well, maybe. Just like a 5-minute little thing. See how that goes.
Yeah, man, keep it up. Keep it up. You gotta. That is the key to success is persistence. Persistence. Keep it up, man. All right, Drew.
All right, so you can catch me on youtube.com/Supreme Heretic. I am doing the Pegasus Actual podcast tomorrow. As we said at the top of the show, me and Script Doctor, we're gonna have a nice 2-part episode tomorrow. So we're gonna be breaking down 2 of them. We got Flight of the Phoenix, which is episode 9, and we've got Final Cut, which is episode 8. And this is Battlestar Galactica for those that you didn't know. So if you like Ron Moore's BSG, check us out.
2004 version, right?
Yep, exactly. So check us out on there. And then, of course, as Don said, I'll probably be popping on his stream because after I get home from the doctors, I'm going to need a good cheer up session, and nothing's better than sitting with Don and bitching about life. So that'll help. But yeah, you can catch me there. You can catch me on Twitter at Supreme Heretic, and of course you can read me on boundingintocomics.com. And I love my job, so enjoy the stories we put out, folks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Angry Joe story that you're working on. It should be good.
Yep.
All right, we'll move on to Spencer. Or
Yeah,
Script
you
Doctor,
can-
whoever wants to take it.
Yeah, you can catch me pretty much every day with new articles on Bounding into Comics. You can catch me on Twitter at Kabuto Rider Mav. You can watch me be ignored in real time by Laura Bailey. And on Friday, John and I will be back for our anime rewind as we keep watching G Gundam. So that'll be fun. So check us out then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode. We really had the last episode was really good, so hopefully it keeps it going there.
Best one so far, last episode. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, Script.
Yeah, you can find me tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Drew Taylor's channel, youtube.com/Supreme Heretic for the Pegasus Actual Podcast. So come join us there. You can also find me on Twitter at ScriptDoctorPhD, and I do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScriptDoctor. I don't know when I'm going to get a video out. I've been swamped with screenwriting for a while. Every time I think I've got some free time, it's like, nope, you got this assignment now. So I like the work, but I do want to kind of get back into some content releases. But yeah, for the time being, feel free to subscribe. And if you haven't already, subscribe here to Bounding into Comics, because these are great streams.
Yeah. It's probably a good time to be swamped with work because there isn't a lot happening as far as new content. I think Stargirl might be the only real show out there.
I think
for
Stargirl and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know is being released right now because they were written and finished before the lockdown. Lots of writers have been making tons of content, and the good news is that lots of production offices have been using all means of internet to take pitches and try and see what they can develop, so that once everything opens up, they can hit the ground running and try and pump out some stuff in the new year, because that's going to be when we're going to start seeing some stuff. That's probably summer of next year.
Alrighty. All right, I am John Trent. As Spencer mentioned, we have our anime rewind coming up on Friday. We usually start between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. We are reviewing Mobile Fighter G Gundam. We're on episode 7? 7 or 8?
Yeah, 6, 7, or 8, something around there.
I know we did 6. I think it's 7 or 8. I think it's 7. We're on 7. The story is kicking into high gear, so it should be a lot of fun for this next episode. And then we also launched our Trek Tuesdays, which was yesterday. Thank you everyone who joined us for that.
That was fun.
We're calling it Trek Tuesdays, but right now we're going over Deep Space Nine. We did the first 2 episodes on Netflix. They combined them, so it's called Emissary, and the pilot episode, and then the second one, and we did that. We're gonna try and get Script in here if he wants to join us for that as well next week. So we start that around 3. I don't know if that's. I know you're here.
I'm at work till 4 on Tuesdays. I have to be in the office there to
We'll
keep
send you
things
the
going.
link if you want. If you can do like Jorge does and say he's in a Zoom call.
Yeah, I might be able to do that.
But yeah, join. I know you joined us in the chat on yesterday. So
you guys had a great discussion on that. Like, what better way to sort of get people reinvigorated with Star Trek than doing Deep Space Nine, man? Like, it's
yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then I think Spencer and I are going to try and do. So Spencer's just, as he said earlier in the stream here, he's wrapping up his last review of Tower of God, and I think we might do this. We'll have to pick because we'll probably only be able to do one.
Yeah, we only have so much time.
Yeah, so we'll have to either do this. We'll have to do Gibiate, which the summary, the synopsis sounds interesting. I didn't watch the trailer. The art looks fantastic. Looks really cool. Or we'll do God of High School. So we're reviewing something that's like happening right now, and we'll figure out a day for that. So, and then I think we'll work with Crunchyroll because they'll actually let us watch it ahead of time. So that should be fun. So we'll figure out a day for that as well. So we've got a lot going on. We're doing a lot of streaming stuff. It's kind of where we're at right now because I know I've been slacking on the scripted videos. Just been really busy. and I'm going to be way more
You've
busy.
been burning the midnight oil. No need to apologize.
Right.
And my life is about to get a lot more hectic here in the next in August. So we'll see how things go. It'll be definitely a life-changing moment. So I'll have to figure out how I'm going to adapt to that. Have a lot more responsibility.
Get a harness.
I already have the satchel thing.
Yeah, those things are great, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can wander
what
around
Piers
and open
Morgan
doors by
says.
yourself. You don't have to maneuver anything.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I know I've got a scripted video. I just need to put it together. Don has been doing a lot of the work on that front, but I'll see if I can try and get one up maybe once a week or something like that. And bring you the Bounding into Comics video content you expect. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be my goal. I'll try and get one a week. Because I was trying to do one a day and I failed at that. But yeah, we'll try and get one a week. So we got a lot going on. There's some internal discussions about some other products that we might be offering in the future, but that might be more of a long-term thing. We're not really ready to announce that stuff yet. But some cool stuff going on with Bounding into Comics. I want to thank everyone for watching and joining us, and hope you continue to watch and that we are entertaining, informative, or you just like watching us or hearing us, or whatever it is that you want to watch. We keep doing what we're doing. So y'all have a good night, and we will see you next week on Bounding Live, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Night, everyone.
Night, everyone. And there he goes.